Check this out. This your boy Warren G, and I'm here with the bigger picture. You better ask somebody.
This is Vic Mensa. You here with the bigger picture.
And if you want to give a message to DJ Hed on the bigger picture.
Flush. On the bigger picture.
West Coast.
Oh yeah, you know I had to turn it up for one time. Elliott, you ready? DJ Hed, you ready?
West Coast.
Hey Jeremy, you ready?
They know it's time.
Let's get it. It's a cold game, cold world, that's why we talk about it. Ain't like everybody else that'll just walk around it. Views is different, snap a picture and now it's vintage. Cause it ain't just talking for the views, that's how he meant it. It's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the big picture.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
The bigger picture.
We're gonna take one question from the audience. You have to be on mic, and you have to be on camera. So request to go live if you would like to ask a question.
Don't ask something dumb.
Yeah, don't waste this opportunity by asking some
dumb.
asking
Don't
some.
There is no dumb
Don't censor
questions.
our audience. Don't censor our
We
audience.
just want to let them know there's pressure. This is watch time. You're starting it off.
It says, "Go to Canada. What the fuck are you doing here?"
Toronto show
Why
tonight.
the fuck would I go to Canada?
Toronto show. Get
I
on
think
the
they might have
jet.
been talking to me. They might have.
Oh,
been
the
talking.
GNX
Yeah.
show. I already seen the show like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I wanted
So,
to go.
what do I need to?
It was too
You can make night
expensive.
2 if you leave right now, Hed.
Huh?
You can make night 2 if you leave right now. You can-
That's Elise.
Hello. Hi, y'all.
Yeah.
Why is Drake streaming tonight? You know why.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's
So
talk
we need,
about it.
so request to go live. And we'll take one
Counter
question.
stream.
We'll take one question from a viewer right now.
Yes.
So if you request to go live, you can ask me or Elliott Wilson or Jeremy Hecht or all 3 of us a question, and we will take it. Now, mind you, you will be on the episode if you request to go live. I'm just
You're granting
No
us permission.
takebacks.
We will take your likelihood, your name, your face.
yeah.
and
Don't
we can exploit it.
Don't
Millions.
request to go live if you're not really
Yeah.
miles minute the future. You see the Christ like. All right,
You following
Christ,
through?
like,
he's from the 614. Where the fuck is that at?
is that Toronto?
No,
I mean, not Toronto.
Definitely not
614
Toronto. Canada.
is Ohio, Central Ohio.
Shout out
Get
to
in
Central.
Ohio.
Columbus.
Shout out to Central Ohio. All right, let's take one. Let's
Shout-
see here. All right,
shout-
now if I
shout-
request you to go live, if I accept
Get
your
ready.
live, bro,
Get ready.
don't
The
do
bigger
no
picture
bullshit.
boys back in studio. The bigger picture boys
Here we go.
back together again.
Miss you guys.
Hello.
Oh no, that's the guilt.
Yo, what's
That's
up,
like when a
fool?
girl cheats on you and shit. I miss you so much.
What's up with
I
it,
see you
dog?
having a good time.
This is JV from the Ville, bro. Jeremy know me. Tell him.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let
Oh,
me give the
God.
Villa intro. This guy's legendary in the YouTube conspiracy Reddit rabbit holes that I actually don't even go down. I like those worlds, but this guy goes all
perfect-
the way down and
the
he
perfect
pieces all of the conspiracies together. So great YouTube channel. Shout out to
All
the
right,
Ville.
what's your question? Fuck all that. What's your
No,
question?
can I ask him a question?
Okay, wait, hold on. Elliot has a question.
Damage control, bro. It's the whole damage control, not only for the concert.
Wait.
Yeah, that was my question, but let
Hold
me
on,
ask you the
hold
question.
on,
Let me
hold
ask you
on.
that question. Let me ask it for you. I say that's where you want to go. I want you to go there. Why do you think Drake has chosen tonight of all nights to do a live stream with Kai Cenat?
Because of the concert that Kendrick is going to do in Toronto. Not only that, he also has the UMG lawsuit that just updated with the motion to dismiss. If he has the motion to dismiss yesterday, remember, the judge is going to respond to that. After they respond to that, bro, that's when the judge will give their consensus of, is this going to go all the way or is this going to be dismissed? Now, in the chance of it being dismissed, there's a chance that the judge could give an opinion. I think that Drake going live is concerning to him. I think this is damage control for him. I think this is his way.
What's your question?
The question is he doing this for damage control? That's the whole question.
We're gonna talk about that on the episode. We for sure gonna talk about that. So make sure you watch the show. We're gonna talk about it, all right?
But as far as the lawsuit goes, is he going to do it for the lawsuit or just for the concert, or is it for both?
We about to discuss it right now.
Hey, Bill, you got any conspiracy questions for Hed that he'll probably say he doesn't know, just to throw them out there?
Oh, just say, where's Julian at?
Who the fuck is Julian?
Just say, where's Julian, bro? You're gonna go viral.
Digital.
Is Julian the guy who allegedly was on Axe stream claiming there were bots, and then there
bots or not?
And then it got dismissed from the lawsuit, correct? Like there wasn't enough issue.
Who the fuck is Julian, bro?
Julian is a guy that accused Drake of scamming him of $2 million.
I don't know who the fuck Julian is or where he at? Cuz Blood, Toronto. What did you say? Canuck?
You would say Crody.
Crody, Canuck. SA. I have no idea what he's talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is he talking about, bro?
Nah, it's a theory that's been going around, bro.
He said he's a gangbanger.
Nah, he's not a gangbanger. He's a scammer, actually. That Drake scammed him for $2 million, bro. Look. Drake scammed this dude for $2 million. He went live on Akademiks live stream. He started going crazy, saying all this crazy shit, and then he started saying that he had voice notes about Top 5, which is Drake's shooter, saying that he was gonna shoot the Weeknd's house up, bro. I'm telling you,
hey, bro.
I like how you ain't showing your face either, Papa. I see you,
I don't know
Papa.
what Julian is, but we about to talk about that right now.
Don't hurt your fingers on the Reddit chat rooms, man.
Sure,
I appreciate you, Bill. Shout out to Bill.
We gonna take
another thing,
because that was crazy. I don't know what.
On his YouTube channel, there's stuff that I don't even talk about on this show because I'm like, this is too far down.
Like, what is he talking about?
These are the people that Akademiks and Day Free and Anthony Slay were talking about. It's got out of control.
I'm gonna take another one real quick.
These fans are too empowered.
We ain't got time for this shit, bro.
We're just happy to be back in the studio with each other. Hey,
what up, King? Hey, I got a question
real
for you.
Real quick, go ahead.
I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, bro. Why you always talking about Little Rock a lot, man? Like I remember one time you had said, like you had made a post and you was like, well, I don't know about the politics in Little Rock, but our politics out here. And I hit you back on X and you never replied. But our politics is a lot of the same. And I know that a lot of our politics come from what y'all do. But can we find like another example outside of Little Rock, bro? Like, damn.
Leave Little Rock alone.
All right, look, bro. I've been to Little Rock. I fuck with Little Rock.
For sure.
I fuck with Arkansas. Okay, first of all, we need to figure out how do we say this state. Is it Arkansas?
Not Arkansas, Arkansas.
The 501. Yo, shout out
y'all can identify as whatever y'all
Little
want.
Rock.
Bet. So
hanging on Little Rock.
So I fuck with Little Rock. I've been to Little Rock hella times, right? When I'm trying to think of a city that is like completely far away, like that don't like I don't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about, I automatically think of Arkansas because I fuck with Arkansas. I had some good food out there. I ain't gonna lie, I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta excuse the fatness. But I also use other cities like Nashville and all that stuff. I try to use cities that people think are not popping, but it's really like an homage, I guess you could say.
You hear him dancing around this?
Dancing around.
But he's not receiving it as love.
Hey.
You receiving it as love? You haven't received it as love.
No, I would tell you some cities I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, we ain't trying to get you in no trouble on here, man.
Yeah, no, I would tell you there's some cities I don't fuck with. But I'm just saying, like,
shout out Derek Fisher, shout out Joe Johnson, shout out Billy Bob Thornton. You know, Little Rock legends.
What are you talking about?
Little Rock legends.
Little Rock legends.
Oh, they from Little Rock.
Yeah, Little Rock.
Yeah, I fuck with Arkansas, bro. It ain't nothing like that. It's really just me trying to freestyle and my brain ain't processing fast enough.
Hey, yo, man, tell your homeboy that we fuck with Dot real heavy in Arkansas. Tell him to bring the tour here, man. Quit bullshit.
You gonna? Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. You might have to drive to what's MD?
Maryland.
Yeah, you might have to drive to Maryland. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, champ.
Yeah.
Like, what's the next dates available?
There's after Toronto, it looks kind of slim. It's Hershey, Landover,
Pennsylvania, and Maryland,
and then it's Germany.
Yeah, you going to drive to Pennsylvania?
Germany. Go to Germany, man.
Or Germany, yeah.
Oh shit.
But no,
hey man, I appreciate y'all for fucking with us, okay? Hey, I appreciate the show.
Appreciate you.
Love the show, man. Keep doing what y'all doing. Hey, Elliott, fuck what Hed talking about. Keep crashing out too, bro.
Yeah. Talk to me. Yes, sir.
Man,
Appreciate
no,
you,
we
bro.
gotta
Yes,
hold
sir.
this man accountable. He been working with his therapist. He been doing good.
What
I
about
actually just
therapist?
talked about that recently with a friend of mine that Elliott's been doing really well. He hasn't crashed
Oh my
out.
God.
You know what I'm
Oh my
saying? We
God.
proud of him. We gonna see how this episode go though. We appreciate you.
Hey,
I appreciate y'all. What up, Jeremy?
501, baby.
What's up?
Let's go.
Man, shut
Right,
the fuck.
Lil
He
Rock.
just Googled it. Look at this computer.
I don't know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga fake. Niggas be fake. You know what I'm saying?
myself. I'm a journalist.
Niggas is fake as fuck. All right, bro.
Appreciate it, fam.
Love.
That was funny. Is there one more?
Nah, that's it.
Nah, let's
All
go.
right,
Let's get
okay,
it
we're
started.
live. We're live.
You know what show this is, Jeremy?
I know where we're
Because you're
at. I
active,
know.
man.
I'm at home
This
base.
is called The Bigger Picture,
I'm
man.
at home base. Hey,
All
did
right.
you see though that I represented all day my bigger picture laptop? That's good for the brand.
Bro.
That's
Let
not
me,
good.
let's talk about this.
That's not good for the
Oh,
brand.
hey, yeah, I want to know what Hed thinks about this foolery, man.
Let's
All
talk
right.
about this.
All right.
So
Can't even go to New York with a white man, and look what happens.
how? Okay, not how. Who did you knock on the door and like ad nauseum?
Do you think I just showed up at the door
In
and
New
just
Jersey, out of nowhere.
in New Jersey, just knocked on the door and said, "Hey guys, it's Jeremy Hed from the Bigger Picture. Let me in." Is that what you think happened?
How did you end up in the apartment with Joe Budden and gang?
And company. So
Hed going in like a journalist. I
I
like
had
this.
messaged Ian. Well, Ian DM'd me a long time ago. This is like months ago. Ian
who's Joe
Schwartzman,
Budden's partner,
who's-
manager.
yes, and good dude. He had messaged me just saying like, keep going, doing your thing, like respect. And we had texted from time to time, just asking advice and stuff like that. And then I said, I'm gonna be in New York. He had said, if you're ever in New York, let me know. We should meet. And I was like, okay, sounds good. I said, I'm gonna be in New York this time. Are you guys shooting? He said, yeah, we shoot on Fridays. I was like, okay, so closer to the date. I said, hey, is it still cool if I pull up? And that day he said, yes, you might be on the Patreon. We might put you on the Patreon episode. So I was like, okay, I'll be prepared either way.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting when I got there, they were shooting the regular episode. I wasn't expecting to be on. I was just sitting there from the sidelines, watching, enjoying. You know, I had never met Joe, and he was very welcoming. And then he comes over to me and he's like, yo, we're going to talk about DDG Hallie. And I was kind of like helping them just like look stuff up because they were like, what happened here? What happened here? So I was just on the sidelines. I was like, this happened at this time. And Joe's like, do you want to say anything about DDG Hallie? And I was like, honestly, no. I was like, that's not really my
The type of
Yeah.
topics that we usually discuss on
I'm
our
like, I don't really
platform,
want to
yeah.
get involved. He's like, I feel like it'd be good for your voice to be on there. Like it'd help you out. And I was like, all right, well, I'll do what I
You
can.
said
So
Joe Budden begged you to crack that mic.
he did
Come
not
here.
beg me to crack the mic.
Joe Budden begged Jeremy
he's-
Hed to get on the microphone.
No, he was like, he basically was saying, now's the time or you're not going to get on the show. And I was like, okay.
He said,
So-
you only got one shot, bro, to
One
make it on the big
opportunity
time.
So I
to
did.
seize everything you ever wanted.
Yes.
So I threw my hood on.
He
I
basically
went
said,
in
you
the
know how
mirror.
big this motherfucking platform is, Jeremy Hed?
It's a massive
You gonna
show.
fold? You gonna step up to this challenge?
So I got on there. We talked about DDG Hallie, which I didn't have a lot to say about. Trump and Elon, which as a Canadian, I didn't want to say too much. But
What
it was,
did you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about rap, but I hadn't heard the Lil Wayne album. So I was like, that's my time here to talk about Lil Wayne. But yeah, it was cool. I obviously am still fanning out a little bit being on there. You hear me crack my voice crack
How
a
has your
little
life
bit.
changed since you've been on the Joe Budden podcast?
Oh man.
My whole life has changed.
What is the same?
When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Why do you feel comfortable sipping sparkling session sodas and watching Lucky Day rock out with your castmate, your TBV brother, on a Thursday night, and don't give me any heads up that you going to Jersey the next day
Oh my
to
God.
kick it with Joe Budden,
It's not about
even
you.
though it's planned ahead of time? You don't think that's a little rude?
No.
We're both from New York,
No, it's not about you.
huh? Did you listen to the episode? I come up a lot of times
No,
for it to
I'm
not be
saying
about
him
me.
going to New York and fanning out.
No, we both were in New York
Oh, you was
on
there?
Up Rock's business.
Oh shit.
Remember last week's
Yeah,
episode?
me and Elliott did
Oh,
run
so he
into-
was in New.
He
Oh,
was
that's,
in New
oh,
York,
that's
too.
interesting.
Now
Yeah,
you're
well, you-
excited. Now you're talking about.
I would love to hear this.
So I have
It was an incredible show. The Up Rocks company, Shal Jarrett.
yes, great,
We
great
have a
event.
great partnership with Sparkling Sessions.
So y'all went to New York together.
No, we weren't there
didn't-
together.
I
We
got
were there
there
separately.
first.
So, but I'm
Did you pay
saying,
attention last episode? Do you idea what's fucking going
yeah,
on?
I understand that. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, I want to know. Okay, at what point were y'all together before this episode?
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying. The night before.
The night before.
Take a picture. You know what I'm saying? Talk about, man.
Hey,
know about it.
Elliott, I was just saying I was learning how to do run-up interviews. Do you have any advice for me? I was gonna run up on you.
Yo, F you, man. F you, buddy. Red carpet king, man. This guy's cocky. Hey, guys tonight. Hey, your favorite cereal.
Hey, Elliott, who's the king of New York right now?
Joey Badass, man. Me, not the king of New York. I'm back home.
Elliott's back home.
Kick me out.
Does West Coast Wilson have a big difference from East Coast Wilson?
Hey,
big...
pause.
Pause.
Right.
Okay. What is the biggest difference between...
Do you see the tweet I had? I was walking across Columbus Circle, and a bike messenger speeding by me. He's like, oh shit, West Coast Wilson. It made my day.
Hey, listen, you're known in the streets.
Wilson in the New York streets.
That's actually huge.
The world, I almost cried. I went up to the side, I tweeted it, and then I saw Ma had did a tweet. I was like, take that, Ma, and I did it for you.
Your two worlds collide.
West Coast Wilson and these New York streets.
Global persona. Okay, West Coast Wilson doesn't just stay in LA. He's everywhere.
Whatever it is. I don't do no signs, though. It's all love.
Message to Hed.
Pause.
Okay, message to DJ Hed. Our co-host.
Hed needs to understand he loves Tupac. He needs to decide where's Tupac from, and he loves New York. And we should all embrace New York. We should do a summer in New York. We should take over New York. Bigger picture New York takeover. Like I love old sitcoms to do that.
I'm down.
The old sitcoms would take over the shit. We should go to all the East Coast clubs, take the shit over summertime.
New York City takeover, bigger picture. Elliott Wilson, the GOAT. Let's go.
Oh. Having a good time at the function.
And you knew you was going?
I was with my main the night before, and then I snuck off the next morning.
Your girlfriend knew. She was there.
She didn't know.
Complicit with it. Is that the right word? Complicit. She knew about it.
What's she gonna say? Don't
truth.
bring her into
Tell
this.
Elliott the truth.
I want you to pretend this is tea because I'm sipping this.
Tell Elliott the truth.
See?
Okay, did I give you a chance to answer the question?
Why did I say
Because you
anything?
admitted that you planned in advance that you were going to go to the thing.
I have a rule, and this is.
Oh, you thought if you told me that you would jinx it and you would get canceled from going to Jersey and Joe Budden on Friday.
This isn't just for you. This is like
so
close
you put
friends
Joe
of
Budden
mine.
thing above me. Basically.
No,
yeah.
I basically have a rule where I don't like to talk about things happening until they actually happen because I've spoken things out loud and then it's disappeared. So with this one, I was like, okay, it's the night before. There could be a text tomorrow morning that's like, hey, this isn't happening, or maybe like the train shuts down.
Can I just paint the scene one more time? We're sipping
show.
sparkling sessions. Lucky Day is tearing the stage down. His girlfriend's there. We're all having a great time. The company people are there, Up Rocks. It's an incredible Thursday night. I come away feeling really great about things. Friday morning, I go on the airplane. I fly back to California. On my phone, all of a sudden, my colleague who's in New York with me literally the night before, he's in Jersey powwowing around with Joe Budden podcast.
I don't know how niggas sit like this extended.
Yeah, your foot go to sleep a little bit.
Yeah, my foot is going to sleep right
It's
now.
fun for a couple seconds. It's not after that. But
Okay,
I did give you a heads up. I did send the group
What
chat a
heads up?
picture. Before it was live, I didn't just you didn't see me on Joe Budden's
That
podcast. I
jarring
gave
photo
you
of
guys.
you and Joe Budden in Jersey out of nowhere?
All right, so let me ask you a question, Elliott.
Do you think that was a little rude?
No.
Or do you buy his theory of he didn't want to jinx it, so that's
No.
why he didn't tell me?
I don't buy none of that shit.
How do you feel about what he said then?
I think this is my perspective, and then I'm asking my question. My perspective is the nigga want to have his moment. He had his moment.
Of course, I wouldn't deny his moment, but why couldn't I have a heads up?
Why you need a heads up?
What would you have done with the heads up?
Just not be surprised that I find out later.
Why does it matter?
Because I felt a little like, oh shit, last night we was in here kicking it. That's a pretty big deal for him to go on Joe Budden's platform. I would just think I'd have a little bit of a heads up. Because I didn't think he just pulled up in Jersey. It had to be planned out. That's the point, as he said. He admitted.
But what I'm saying is why?
He wouldn't have just pulled up, huh?
Well, why the heads up? For what?
Because it reflects me. I'm connected to it, and that's what it is. And that's me. I want to know everything.
I get that.
And I was with the nigga last night.
I get.
And I thought shit was sweet. I go to the airport.
Oh,
he go to Jersey.
He was on the plane and niggas at the pod. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. So, Joe,
but I was very proud of his performance on the Joe Budden podcast. I will say that. I thought he was very stand up and informative, and I love the way he did rep the brand with his laptop and all this bullshit he does. But and you know, and then niggas is like, what I said it wrong during the what I say? How do you approach somebody when you like the tampering? There's a little tampering going on. You know, he's asking about his contract and his affiliation to me and Jared and all these kind of questions. I didn't really love that line of questioning by Joe Budden, if I'm honest. Because it's inappropriate. It's damn near illegal. I think by the NBA, you can't talk to certain people.
Why is it inappropriate?
Contract talks and free agency. Because you trying to take a white boy away. That nigga's sticky. You crazy?
That's my white boy.
All right, so look. Let me
A fact-checking white boy? They don't have that. Their team don't have that. That's why they tested him out. This ain't no innocent shit.
Here
The
it
fuck
comes.
act like it's innocent. This ain't innocent. Both these can be true. Jeremy deserves his moment. It's a great moment. It's a great look for him. It's a great look for the brand. It's a great look for us. And niggas is nasty. And they're approaching niggas. And both these can be true. Have you met Joe Budden? Did he get to the top by being such a nice, sweet guy at all times? He's a ruthless mastermind. It has to be watched closely at all times. So I'm not to be fooled by none of this kumbaya. Oh my God, so this shit. We all love Jeremy. Yo, sometimes when you hear somebody's voice the first time I ever met you, first time I hear your voice, and you get to crack the mic. And then he even stepped to you about you really should do this. You really should being encouraging.
This
This isn't fucking some innocent shit. Ian Schwartzman and all these guys. I know these guys.
Okay.
All right.
So can I? Oh, you go first. You go first.
God damn.
Great look for the brand, though. Thank you, Joe Budden.
Man,
Both things
how
can be
you
true.
think a nigga after you
Because both things are fucking true. That's the world we have to live in sometimes.
have you
Both
met
things are
Joe
true. Both
Budden?
things bring the fuck true
He's a
loudly.
ruthless
Both things
man.
bring true fucking loudly. Like a Liberty fucking bell. Bang, bang, bang. That's how they ring. Both sides is true. Thank you,
Mastermind
Jeremy.
is
The
incredible.
ruthless master.
That's gotta be a new drop.
Yo,
Okay,
L,
you go
got
first.
this. L got this white. L got
Ruthless
this.
mastermind.
L got this white boy in a work. L got this white boy in a work visa.
Ruthless mastermind.
L got this white boy in a work visa, taking advantage of him. Come to the Joe Budden podcast. We'll get you free hots in a cot. Get you right, kid.
Let me tell you what I think, Jeremy Hed.
All right.
Don't acknowledge what he just said. It's a trap. He's
Okay.
a ruthless mastermind.
Oh my God.
They both are in their own right.
Let me tell you what my perspective. My perspective is you're not gonna like this.
Oh wow.
Shocking.
I like this already.
All right, let's go.
You
Shit.
ruthless mastermind.
I just want to let you know I predicted both of these.
Now we're gonna haze you, right?
Both of okay. Let's
Fuck
continue.
your moment. Fuck your
no,
beautiful
I'm
moment.
not gonna
You
hate
had a
you.
whole week of embrace. You had
Yeah,
a whole,
okay,
you had-
okay.
You got a lot of love.
I did,
So you
I
have
did,
to a
I
little bit
did.
balance
I'm not
of
gonna
life.
hate you.
I did.
I don't really give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck that you went on there. I don't give a fuck that you deceived him. I don't give a fuck that
Just see.
I don't give a fuck that if you
Master of deception.
defect.
Jeremy Heck.
I don't give a fuck if you
Defect.
denounce the United States or Canada. I don't give a fuck
Okay.
about none of that
All
shit.
right. What do you give a fuck about?
I don't actually give a fuck about none of it.
Okay.
But
Shocking.
but my perspective is I look at what Elliott said
Mhm.
as just like a relationship. And any nigga that could take your girl, she wasn't your girl. That's how I look at it. So this is not gonna be shocking to you, but I don't believe in paperwork. I don't believe in like the sanctity of I believe in contracts for this in corporate America because your people have been deceptually cunning over the years.
My people.
Well, they not my people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They
alright.
more
People.
resemble.
There's been people who've been.
They more resemble you than
okay.
me.
There's been some whites to take advantage of the contractual system. But continue. Yes.
But like me and my manager Silas, y'all know him.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
We've been together since 2011. We've never done any paperwork, no
Yeah.
contracts, nothing.
Paperwork.
So I believe in just being a man of your word, being stand-up individuals, etc. Right? If I say I'm going to do the bigger picture, I'm going to do the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Right? No paperwork needed, whatever. That's how I am. I know that that's not how the world operates. So, to what Elliott said, to be worried about those things to me lacks faith in the sanctity of relationships and camaraderie and whatever. Now, that may be naive of me to think that. Because when it comes to marriage, I don't necessarily believe in the contractual components of that either. Because it's like, if she want to leave, let her go. Why should it be hard for someone to leave? That's crazy to me.
Mm.
It should be actually easier for them to leave than for them to come. That's my take on it. So I'm not worried about what he worried about. Like, oh, that's vile and violent. I think that this part you're not gonna like.
Okay. Because I liked all that. I was wrong.
You're not gonna like this.
Okay.
I was
You had me in the first half. Yeah.
I think that while you're in a relationship, like you're in one,
Yeah.
right? I think that proactively, y'all should be dating other people while you in a relationship.
What do you mean? Okay, I don't like this. Yeah.
Because
What do you mean?
I gotta go to the Joe Budden podcast. I'm confused.
I think because the free market determines your value.
Yeah.
Right? That's part one. Part two is I think that I genuinely want what's best for Jeremy Heck. And if it's not with me or Elliott Wilson, I want what's best for Jeremy Heck.
Well, that's what the power of him going to the Joe Budden podcast and performing at such a high level. It not only impressed Joe Budden and his crew, it impressed the world to get to see him.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, even with your relationship, I think that she should be going on dates with niggas.
No, she doesn't have to, though. she doesn't have to.
Because
have you seen that woman? She ain't going
do
on
you
dates
truly
with
want what's best for your girl? What if that's not you?
Well, that's why when we were seeing each other for 2 years before we started dating, we were seeing other people, and that's good because we weren't locked in. But now we're locked in. We did that. We don't need to do that.
I get that, but this is my point.
I'm so confused now.
This is my point. I think that people should actively partake in other scenarios to find what's best for them. And if it's not where your current situation is, so be it. Now, that may be delusional of me on some mall shit, but I actually saw them all over BET Week, and we talk about it. But
oh yes,
but
we'll do a quick sidebar.
Yeah, but that's my perspective on it. I think people should actively pursue other opportunities all the time, and what's best for you should be best for you, no matter where it is.
So reaching out to Ian Schwartzman the way he did, and if you're going to be in town, he's taking advantage of that. He is in town, New York, to seize that opportunity.
100%.
So what was the thing that he would be mad at? I would agree with. What the fuck was that?
What?
Well, you started this by saying Jeremy's not going to like this.
Well, that part.
Dating other people. I wasn't going to like the metaphor he used.
The metaphor that I knew he wasn't going to like that.
I don't, but I do, and you don't have to do this.
This woman was at the Joe Budden podcast.
She did. She got shouted out.
She was there.
Yeah.
Okay, two real quick things on it. One, my goal, which even I talked to Joe about it afterwards, is I'm asking him advice. How do we build? How do we continue to grow as the bigger picture?
The architect of everyday struggle.
Yes,
the architect of everyday
who's
struggle.
continue to build. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't think those two guys are going anywhere. We're in it for the long run. Like, those are the things that I'm trying to build this up as much as I can. And I think same way when you go on Joe or you go on Cameron or wherever you go, it continues to bring eyes here. Or if you go to, Big Boy's new show and, you guys are doing all this press too, all brings more eyes to here. The second point I was going to say is, let's say I would have told you the night before, DJ Hed, do you not think that what we just witnessed would have happened potentially that night? If I said, yeah, I'm going to go on Joe Budden tomorrow.
Elliott's had too many
you think Elliott's going to be
sessions.
like, oh, yeah, sounds good. Or do you think he's gonna do a similar thing that we just happened?
I don't think neither one is going to happen. I think he would just he'd be there. He's going to miss the flight.
Yeah, or miss the flight. And then, yeah.
You guys
Joe,
know me
I'm going to
too
be
well.
there too. Yeah.
You guys know me.
Oh,
so,
well, Jeremy
happen to
fucking
be down
going
there?
I need to fucking be there. Ian, you trying to poach my talent? What the fuck?
Yeah,
you don't fuck with Queens? You don't fuck with Queens?
Yeah.
No wonder you don't fuck with Nicki. You don't fuck with, like, it would have been all of that.
So, yes, I did have that.
Queens get the money.
I guess I might, to close it out,
Yeah.
I guess I just would like a little text that Friday morning as I'm
Okay.
going to the airport.
No.
Hey, Elliott, you ain't going to believe it. I hit Ian. Joe Budden podcast invited me. I'm going to pull up, blah,
No.
blah.
No.
That doesn't work, audience? Like,
No.
chat?
This is why we need those
Chat?
Tuesday meetings.
Not that it's mandatory. Not that it's required. Not that I think he's going to be, other than just living his dream. This is a huge platform that I love also, this platform. I get all that. I guess I always have that thing that I kind of want to know. I didn't like just seeing what the hell he shot at you and Joe Budden out of nowhere.
I see, I do see that, and I do hear that.
Yeah.
And when big things happen
Being so
in life,
embraced in their universe.
I could give more of a heads up. I do receive that.
No.
In this specific scenario, I agree with my decision, but in other scenarios,
It's just,
I
just
could
the deal.
give
I'm
you more
literally
of a
flying
heads
back
up.
to California. All of a sudden, he's still in, and he's in Jersey.
That's how you know
okay.
Elliott got money. He got the picture in the flight. He bought a Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, yeah, that
16
$5.99 or whatever, yeah.
That $16
Best
Wi-Fi.
$20 I ever spent.
Yeah.
$25.99, whatever the fuck it was. Trying to enjoy my peanuts and shit. Oh, fucking Jeremy Heck did the fucking Jersey.
He said peanuts just for everyone.
Pause. Elephants and peanuts?
Yeah.
Elephants and peanuts?
Yeah. Well, we will get there. We will get there.
Can we talk about Maul first? You
Yes.
squash beef with Maul? You guys are good now?
Oh, so.
Maul, I saw Maul. They haven't ran the interviews yet, but I'm very interested to listen to what the Rory and Maul interviewing Ray Vaughn.
Yeah.
conversation is gonna sound like. I'm very interested to see how that came out.
Yeah.
How did you run into Maul?
So BET does this media room house, media house room, whatever you want to call it. I am on the radio, and my particular entity decided to do our own radio room because we have multiple stations. So you have Shade 405, you have The Heat, you got Hip Hop Nation, which I am on. And we were asked by the company, Gina Views and I were asked by the company to represent Hip Hop Nation for BT Weekend.
Okay.
So being that was the case, we had our own radio.
Under the Effect Immediately banner, or just strictly for Hip Hop
just
Nation?
for the company.
Hip Hop Nation itself.
Yeah, for the company.
Yeah.
So Gina and I conducted all the interviews for Hip Hop Nation for BT Weekend because they had the rotating media house room situation too. So we did like, I don't know, 18 interviews in 2 days or
I was
something.
gonna say that reminds me of Jeremy and the Red Carpet. How y'all niggas be doing that when it's just you got to talk to all these different people?
Just, you know, it was like you get 5 minutes with each person type of shit. Anyway, long story short, we finished a little early, and the media house is down the street from Sirius XM. So Gina was like, "Shit, you trying to crash?" Shit, I ain't turning it down. What you mean? So Gina,
we from the West Coast, we pull up.
So Gina Views is like, let's just pull up. Let's go over there and see what's up.
what-
Like walk in and just
Because there's artists there you might run
it's
into.
just, you know, this you know,
The homies.
what they
whatever.
not gonna let us in?
Yeah.
So we went over there.
Test the face cards.
It was just no, but it was just ending. And so I walk up. We seen Chike get in his car, and we walk up and I seen Nick Grant walking with Maul. And I was like, look at this. What you looking here?
All of these
What could we
California
have on my
streets.
coast?
Maul is just freely walking around outside. You know what I'm saying? And so we end up talking shit or whatever, just kicking it, talking, you know, chopping it up or whatever. And then DJ Self and Puerto Rico Rob and all them pull up. And Self was talking his big shit. And I asked, he was talking hella shit about LA. And I was like, Self, would you like me to tweet
that you're here?
how you feel about the black and brown in Los Angeles? He's like, nah, son. Nah, I'm good.
A lot of East Coast energy.
Exactly. But whatever. It was funny. We was talking shit. But so me and Maul were standing there, and then like we're standing like right at the corner where everybody exits. So like everybody's pulling up and just kind of like
double taking.
Everybody's driving past and just like looking like, what the fuck? And so shout out to Lola Brooke and her manager, they pulled up on us and shit.
Was that Sav?
No, Sav wasn't with her. It was I forgot her name. It's escaping me right now.
It's all good.
But yeah, we was chopping it up on the corner or whatever, and then they were about to go to the studio. I can't talk about who they was going to the studio with. I guess it ain't my space to tell. But they were about to go to the studio, so then we all was chopping up for about 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
It was cool. People were it was funny because again, this is what the reason I want to speak about this is because the look on certain people's faces when they saw me and Maul standing there talking.
Because they would think like you guys, you know, you do content, but if you pull up and you see each other like in an off content space, it's gonna be like, you know, heated.
So, and this is why I wanted to speak on this. And as everything has unfolded with the whole Joey Badass thing, more artists are talking about like, nah, we was just rapping.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I've been telling people the whole time, which is why I didn't like all of that narrative. Like, nah, it's this and this East Coast or whatever it was.
Kai Cash and Ray Vaughn were like hugging it out.
Bro, we did a show with Kai Cash.
Yeah.
Reason was there. You know what I'm saying? Ray Vaughn pulled up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because the look on people's face when they saw me, it wasn't a lot of people. It was just a handful of people that was walking by and stuff. I noticed that people were looking out the window like, what the fuck? And it's not smoke. Like, people think like, oh, because you have objective opinion, opposing opinions and stuff like that, or you might have some discrepancies. Like, it's not that.
You think it's like the Drake Kendrick thing where the fans themselves get energized by it and they're the ones that looking all crazy?
That shit real though.
That's different.
That's real.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, they really like that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying?
They're not going to be chopping it up at the exit.
They not finna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, as far as from a content perspective, like even the thing with I guess
we could go there. Yeah.
Okay, so even the thing with Akademiks, right? Akademiks
and Day Free.
I don't talk about Akademiks often because not to expose him, but he's not really that person. He's playing a character, like a television character, right? It's no different than watching Buddy on the new season of Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? It's just shout out to Buddy, shout out to Compton. But I'm just saying, like, so I don't ingest it the same way that most people do, because the fans take it serious. And that's why I don't like when on the internet it looks like one way and they be like, they see me and Maul talking, and it's like, well, aren't y'all supposed to be fighting? It's like, I'm not finna fight this nigga. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I'm not fighting nobody. I'm grown. I own property and shit. I hate, like, I'm not not like
That's
not
when
like,
fighting stops. Once you own property, you got
the
bigger
thing
problems.
is, I understand how white America works. So now that I understand, bro, Silento got 30 years in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is real. Like, Lil Durk is facing
There's
L.
a system to fight.
There's a
rather than-
system to crash it out in real life. Like, I'm not a crash out. I'm not stupid. Anyway, long story short, I just think that people should always look at this shit like WWE unless it's not. Unless somebody tell you this ain't WWE, look at all of this shit as WWE. All of it.
Well, I think that since we're here, that was a point that I did want to make about. So, this was like this morning, and he was talking about it last night from the show in Detroit, where
Ak pulled up to the show. in
Ak pulled
Detroit.
up to the show, to Kendrick's GNX show in Detroit, and Anthony Soleil, who's Kendrick's manager, who we can talk about in a second, and Dave Free, who of course has been connected throughout this whole back and forth in multiple ways, including lyrically. They go up to Akademiks and basically have questions for him. It didn't seem like they were pressing him like with, severe threats or anything.
There was no press.
Right? They just went up with
That shit's
genuine questions. And their questions were things like, why are you doing this? Are you being paid to do this? Which there's, we can get to that as well. What is your mission? What is your end goal? And the question that I thought was really interesting was, is this personal to you or is this content? And Ak's answer was, I don't actually know these guys, right? I love Drake, quote, but I don't know him. To you, I get why it's personal. But I wanted to make the point because similar to what DJ Hed always says on this program, everything isn't for content. And when you make everything into content, you don't get to decide how people react to your content if they take it personally. And so I think this was another example of, we saw what happened with these people being brought in who are not public figures, and they were brought into this back and forth to become public figures and front-facing, whether that be the women, whether that be Dave, or whether that be Ant. And because they're now in the public eye because of this, not to say you couldn't look them up or that we don't know who they are, but the average fan didn't know these people in that way. Now they're front-facing, they're public, it's personal to them. So when you're making content about them, and they have real life implications, you can hide behind a screen and sit there and drink your Henny, but they have real people, real life that they have going on, and it might affect them. So I think he was basically trying to make the point like, yo, yes, you're saying it's not personal, but it's personal over here. And the other thing he said was Ant was receiving voice notes from Drake during the back and forth, which, we've talked about whether there was a conversation before, and it's been kind of clarified that there was some convo, and this brings light to the fact that it was likely a conversation between Ant and Drake, who, Elliott was talking about before, their relationship, they have a personal relationship, but Ak basically said, yo, he's getting voice notes, and Ant was getting voice notes from Drake trying to act like a mob boss and saying, yo, we're gonna done you, fam. Like, you're done, you're washed, you're a waste man, on his Toronto mob boss shit. And then you see the lyrics in 616 in LA, which make a lot more sense now when Kendrick said, yeah, somebody's lying, I can see the vibes on Ak. Even he looking compromised, let's peel the layers back. Ain't no brownie points for beating your chest, harassing Ant, fucking with good people, make good people to go to bad. So I think this must have been during the time of like push-ups before 616 and before Euphoria, where Drake was probably speaking like that.
What have I been saying for the last year? Hecht.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it. I was waiting for you. I mean, not everything is content.
Not everything is content. Number one. Number two, I've been telling the whole world that things be happening
Behind the scenes.
It ain't my place to tell these things.
Yeah.
These ain't my stories to tell. That's not it. It's get way crazier and funkier than this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when niggas be like, oh, you're this, and oh, why he went too far. Well, Elliott Wilson, let me ask you a question. Let's say you become editor-in-chief of a popular magazine. and you give out a mic rating system, right? And you give somebody's album
PTSD, goddamn it.
and you
Hate
give somebody's album 3 mics or 3.5
Yes,
mics
yes.
who thought they deserved 5 mics.
Yes, sir.
Right? Let's say then that person or people around that person starts to harass you, your loved ones. Maybe they even make threats. Maybe they even
Come to your mama's house in the projects.
whatever the case may be.
I heard.
How would
allegedly.
you receive that? would you think that anything you did would be too far?
No, you feel like you have to protect yourself. You have to match that energy.
If somebody said then, if they only saw how you reacted to those things, and they said,
I would again. There's been a rare time when I had a conflict like that, and I won't be specific about it. But then when you try to make it into that personal thing, I would try to make it clear to that person that this doesn't got nothing to do with that. The DJ Hed voice.
that's not what I'm
Now
saying.
you want me to finish? Okay,
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you saying?
What I'm saying, the question is, if people only saw your public reaction to the shit that's private,
Yep.
and because you're stand up and you refuse to make those private things public,
Yep.
and they only saw you react publicly to the things that's happening behind the scenes,
Yep.
then those people say Elliott is going too far.
Why is he
with this.
crashing out?
Why
Yeah.
is he crashing
Yeah.
out? Isn't that odd to you?
No, because that's all they have to draw from. It depends on what their agenda is. People have different agendas,
Right.
you know, and people have different relationships, right? The thing that was telling to me from what Axe recap is that he still has no clue who Anthony Saleh is.
Yeah.
Which again, once you get to this point where if you are going to be the #1 hip hop journalist and all this type of stuff, which again, I know he does his due diligence a lot of times, but it's a blocking there where it's like, if you know that's Anthony Saleh, look up Anthony Saleh's history, right? Nas, and managing Kendrick after this new regime, but also Future. So the reason why
He
Anthony
managed Nas and Future.
yeah. So the reason why Drake feels comfortable or is out because Drake with Future the Prince and Future and Anthony Saleh and Drake and Future the Prince have done great business for years before the falling out. So that's why it's personal where Drake could feel away and call his man who he's done great business with for years. Not to defend Drake, but I'm just saying it's personal relationships also, like you're saying, who's wrong, who's right. And I think the fact that he's not doing his due diligence and finding out who exactly Anthony Saleh is and adding that context to it, where it's like, if you're Drake, you've done all this great business with Future in 2015 in these years and went on tour. So yeah, then it gets blurry where it's like he's getting on some tough shit because he feels like this guy who he's cool with is now turned on him or whatever. Everything just gets heightened by that. So I think there's other context to it also. But to your point, no one's ever going to know all the layers of behind the scenes shit. I was never running around all day. Let me tell you all the people that ever threatened me at XXL. It's like, we don't have time for all that. Like, you'd run out of time. But what choose to go public and how you handle that, I think is probably the most important thing about it.
Correct.
And the problem with this type of thing is because there's so much personal shit that did go on in real life. The fans are drawn by all the personal drama shit, and they're trying to manifest the stuff even real. Well, how much more can I find out about Whitney from Kendrick's Woman? Like, they're trying to participate and sort of fuel this sort of thing because there seems to be a sort of not closure to this whole battle. And closure doesn't have to be guys is piecing it up because I don't see that happening. But it just seems like Anthony and Dave expressing their frustration to act about how they can't fan those flames, right? That keeps going. That part keeps going. And they want to be private people. Anthony Saleh is a very private person.
Super.
Dave Free is a private person.
Super.
So it's hard to uphold that when this has hit such a stage of where we're at right now. So I think it's great that they had that conversation. I would answer the last part where you ask about is if you're asking the Akademiks, is this personal to you as a content? It's content to him because it's why he makes his bread and butter. He profits from it not by getting a direct check from Drake or his camp, but by the millions of streams and everything he's built with the access he does have. And then he'll get his money from the labels and other shit.
And the steak deals. The steak deals owned by Drake.
All things that help. Business deals are things that stepping outside of that. But the content he gets is what fuels his thing. He's an independent contractor who has done payola, has done all these things, admittedly. So there's no bounds to what he will do to profit. So therefore, he doesn't have to be as directly with someone else's agenda. His agenda is his agenda. It favors his relationship with Drake because he's the bigger guy, was a bigger guy, and they have a personal rapport. But yeah, it's not personal to him. He don't give a fuck. He'll do whatever to keep his relevancy, make his money, and be in the position that he feels he's the top guy.
Well, and
all he
that's
cares
the
about.
part that I have the biggest problem with is that, like, he doesn't ever have to face the consequences of this because he can stay home. But
Yeah.
he's the one fanning this flame. Like, he's posting, whether that's him directly or his minions, He's
Well, he's
sending.
authorizing
He's
the ones to do it, yeah.
authorizing the Akademiks TV account, who we've all been on there before. He's authorizing them to put out some bullshit all the time to fan this flame, to continually put these people in the spotlight, to continually fan the flames of this beef, even though they want to say we won't stop talking about it. That is the main source of a lot of the continued like antics after this beef. It starts with him. So he kind of took account. He's like, well, you know, I guess media does play a role. No, you play a direct role in this. And then you want to get up there and say what he said on his stream at the end. He was like, well, you know, if Drake and Kendrick, they have a real problem. Like they gotta fight or they gotta shoot each other. Shut the fuck up. Like that's real consequences that you're now fanning once again that you don't have to deal with. And then the other thing that I hate is the hypocrisy of like he said to Dave, well, you know, you guys went there, so you can't close Pandora's box. You called them a PDF. And then I guess he did say that, you know, Kendrick's kid was yours. No, reverse that order. He said Kendrick's kid is yours. He said Whitney's name. Like, how many times do we have to go over the timeline of things? And then Kendrick took it there, besides all the behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't even know about. So I just hate the way that it's framed.
It's just framed in a way of ignorance. That's all.
Yeah.
And the problem with a lot of people, not a lot of people, the problem with a few people is when you don't participate in their world, oh, you don't gonna give me information, I'm gonna just run with what I got. That's problematic.
Yeah.
That's why I don't respect it. That's why I can never be a part of it. But as I've said many times, I'm not willing to violate my relationships for content. Everything ain't content to me because I'm outside. It's different when you don't have to be accountable for your words or your actions.
Mm-hmm.
You get to play however you want to play. When you have to be accountable for your words and your actions, you're beholden to a community, you're beholden to integrity, you're beholden to whatever it is that drives or fuels your thing. But if you're for sale, there's a word for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm not necessarily for sale. And so therefore, I'm not going to profit or benefit in the same way that those words profit or benefit because I'm not for sale. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, it's interesting to me when I think you sent us the clips of it, right?
Elliott did.
Oh, Elliott sent the clips. And looking at the clips, and I'm like, okay. So first of all, they ran down on him. That's bullshit. Also, if you go back to first episode of The Bigger Picture,
Great episode.
Great episode. Was it 51 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I was talking about that, and I'm just like, when you're just a shitty person to people, right? It doesn't matter how you feel. So first of all, let's get out our emotions. We grown ass men. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not saying everybody needs to be like me and be stoic. I'm just saying you are responsible for your emotions. When you act erratically, you didn't have to be beholden to consequences for those actions. If somebody offends you, gets under your skin, that does something disparaging to you, you have the right to have a conversation with that person. It doesn't have to be a full-on beef or back and forth or anything like that. It can just be like, hey, bro, I didn't like this, and this is where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? If you continue to violate this line that I've drew, these are the consequences of that action, right? Yep. Then you continuously egress. If you continuously aggress on that line, at that point it's whatever. I said that first episode. When you look at when you look at what he talked about behind the scenes, I've talked about these things. I just didn't say what was happening. Yeah. But aside from what Ant was talking about, and also brought that up on The Bigger Picture too. I'm like, why would you pick on Ant?
Yeah.
Ant don't bother nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Ant is not, like, I get you might have a personal relationship. You might feel a way, but get out your fucking feelings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You didn't hire Ant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like, for instance, let's say Jeremy Heck didn't work here and we was fuck with Jeremy, but it's like, hey, we not going to give him a job and he goes somewhere else and get a job. You can't be mad.
Back to the Joe Budden podcast again. We can't escape this. You see how it goes?
You can't be mad at that shit.
Couldn't think of another example.
No,
right here.
That's the example.
PTSD.
I'm just saying, like, that shit, to me, that's just lame behavior. That's just lame behavior. And then also, like, you know who you're going to do that to. Have you ever heard any rumblings of him sending disparaging voicemails to Top?
Hey.
Well, and that was my biggest problem too. Is it's not like he can't DM Kendrick, if you're Kendrick and you don't look at Instagram, if you get a DM from Drake, you're answering. So it's like, say it to the person.
These niggas know how to get in touch with each other. This is not that hard to get in. And there's an allegedly Gina Views. There was allegedly a phone call or something that was made. I alluded to that before. Like, hey, here's the line. You know what I'm saying? Once this is over, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel anyone in the Drake camp or the Kendrick camp is more responsible for kind of keeping the fans flaming? Because it seems like, to me, it leans towards Drake, because literally we knew these Toronto shows were going down. The first one's being taped tonight, right? Tonight.
Thursday and Friday.
And all of a sudden, the Somebody Loves Me video contest with Kai Cenat hosting is going to be finally a live stream of Kai Cenat, because they haven't done a live stream together, right?
No, they haven't. I know he did get a lot of criticism for not doing one with Kai. You know, of course, he has the Kick sponsorship, but he had the Aidens and he had the other white dude in Europe.
Never did it with a brother.
Never did it with Kai. Yeah.
That's one thing I will.
It's a black stream. It's a black stream, DJ Hed.
I'm gonna give credit to Drake, Nicki, the whole Young Money little tribunal, right? Give credit to them.
Triumvirate.
They do get in early and understand the importance of these relationships that are going to flourish into other things.
Yep.
They get in early.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the system is archaic, including the record label system, radio system. It's extremely outdated, archaic, etc. They get, oh, this is what the youth is doing. Let me embrace this.
So now you understand the sacrifice I made for hip hop. It was my anger at the Kai Cenat Nicki Minaj thing that opened the door for streamers and all those things that happened after that.
You were the martyr.
No.
As a martyr. I was not the martyr.
No.
It was early.
Everything I just talked about don't have nothing to do with Elliott Wilson. No. I'm just saying they do that well, whereas most people don't do that well. You tend to reject it and push against it or whatever because it's a new medium and we don't get it, whatever the case may be. They do that well. But it's also, if I fuck with you, of course, you're going to lean heavily into me as opposed to the opposition. So,
well, it's a real interesting and fun coincidence, though, the date. It is. It's like, you know, like, oh, there's this thing going on, a big show at the Rogers Stadium in Toronto, 2 nights back to back. But you know what? It's also a great time to film a music video and go talk to fans on the biggest stream.
You have several music video submissions they're going to go through. Really just...
Yeah.
It might take 2 days.
It's for the people.
It might take 2 days to go through all the submissions.
And it got pushed back. Did you see? It got pushed back a day because they were supposed to do it the day before, but then, like, things...
Kai was busy insulting Wale.
No, he said there was too many submissions. Yeah, we'll get to that. But there's too many submissions. But did you guys also, are you going to pull up to the OVO parties outside of the stadium? They're giving out OVO hoodies and pizza.
God bless it.
Yeah, free OVO hoodies and pizza. And the caption says something like, all my OVO soldiers, and with owl emojis everywhere, pull up and show your support.
Oh, that's what they're doing? Wow.
But they don't care. It's over, bro. Like, stop, you know, the beef is over. They don't care. They're just having fun.
That motherfucker finna be packed.
Free pizza.
Because of the pizza?
The hoodies might get more people, actually. You
Bro.
think the pizza or hoodies?
Bro, it's 2 nights.
Oh, you're talking about the stadium.
The stadium's gonna be niggas is walking past you niggas
to the stadium
and waiting in that line to get that SZA merch.
I might get a pizza slice on my way in.
Nonstop Beauty.
What you mean?
Get
Want
both.
some Nonstop Beauty or
this
pizza?
shit is goofy because it's not. I don't even blame. This ain't Drake's fault. It ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The city your city would ride with you too. Hopefully, if you've done your
If you've
job.
done for your
If
put it
you've
on
done-
for your
if-
Which
city.
he has.
If you've done your job, but this shit goofy.
Yeah.
It's just goofy. I wouldn't even brought it up or give it any credence because it's goofy. It's gonna be tens of thousands of humans walking past you niggas, scanning their motherfucking phones and walking through the turnstile
Oblivious to that foolery.
to get some top tier hip hop and R&B.
Woo.
Fuck is you talking about?
God bless him. I wish I was there.
And pizza. You niggas ain't even known for pizza.
Hey, easy now.
Poutine.
I'm
It should have
sure
been hoodies and poutine. That would have been good. But you're.
Can we have a fine Canadian audience, please?
Yeah, no. We have actually a lot of fans. Canada is our second biggest market of listeners.
I would assume that.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
But pizza might
It's
not be a
like it'd
strong
be
suit.
fucking Cameroon. You know what I'm saying?
We do have a lot. We have
We
a lot
killing
of.
in Cameroon.
No, we are killing it in South Africa though. We have a lot of South African viewers. We have a lot of European viewers.
You
as
know what
well.
I want to know?
You
Maybe
been
you can help
checking
me with this.
demographics and data?
Yeah.
Did you discuss this with Joe Budden? Demographics and data?
No, we didn't
Get some
discuss
pointers?
demographics. No.
How they
Why
freestyle
every other
South
country
Africa?
in Africa got a cool name except South Africa? Why is it South Africa? Where's North Africa? You know how like
No,
South
that's a good-
Korea, North Korea?
Mhm.
Like why is it
You
South
want North
Africa?
Africa to go down?
Huh?
You want some North African movement?
No, I'm just saying, like, you just could come up with another name.
He's looking it up. You making a white man from Winnipeg, Canada? Look it up.
All right.
He should be the one to break this news.
This is breaking news. South Africa is called South Africa because of its geographical location. We know that at the southern tip. The name is a straightforward descriptor indicating its position relative to the rest of Africa, while some Pan-Africanist political parties and individuals prefer the term Azania for South Africa. The official name reflects its geographical placement. But I still that doesn't give me any answer as to why. Colonial
look that shit
influence,
up.
though. Here
We'll
we
look
go.
that shit up.
The term South Africa was adopted during the colonial period when the area was under British rule. The 4 British colonies, Cape Colony, Colony of Natal, Transvaal Colony, and Orange River Colony, were later unified into the Union of South Africa. So basically what it is, the whites are lazy when they
I
find
knew that.
places. So you're educating here. The whites are lazy. They find places. They're like, let's just call it New Mexico. You know what I mean?
New York.
Yeah, New York. Yeah.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
New
Hampshire.
This kind of
England.
reminds me of the old Hampshire.
New England. Like,
Yeah.
y'all niggas ain't original.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas names, y'all niggas naming structure don't slap.
No.
Yeah, what structure don't slap? That name structure don't
Yeah,
slap.
they don't. It's stupid.
It don't slap.
It doesn't.
It don't slap like that Lil Wayne album. Can we talk about that?
Let's go. Let's get there. Let's
I'm mad
get
because
there.
I'm mad at DJ Hed. I have a grievance with DJ Hed. when it
Okay,
comes to
let's
this Lil
start,
Wayne
let's
album.
start.
Can I address that?
Yep.
I wasn't really ready to talk about this album, which I had to care. I've been adamant against this album. Can I get credit for it? Everyone hates this album now. I hated it when I first knew
You
it was
hated
a
it before you
concept.
heard it.
As a concept,
Yeah,
I hated it.
You
Because
did.
I didn't know what music he was going to go, what direction, blah, blah. And then the more names I heard he was going to work with, the Rolling Stone article came out. I wasn't excited by none of that. I love Wyclef Jean, but no, I don't want to hear him and Wyclef and all those things. So then that lingers on. Everybody knows Elliott's hating on Lil Wayne. Then last week, he's going to start yawning. Last week, not on the script, we get pulled into some Lil Wayne deep dive over Miley Cyrus and Warren G and shit that didn't even make the album. And this then Hed has you looking up concert dates and saying that sales don't matter and Wayne's a legacy act and it's just he got to put butts in seats and he don't give a fuck about this, he don't give a fuck about that. And then I get this record. Well, first before I even get this record, social media tears this record down since last time Chance was in love and shit. We hadn't seen nothing like that since the Chance the Rapper, I Love My Wife. The Big Day was the album.
Yeah.
The Big Day debacle. The Big Day debacle. Never seen the album killed on sight the way Carter 6 was, right? So then I finally say, I'm going to listen to the album. And again, I think the album is the complete opposite of what DJ Hed was saying of, I feel like he really was feeling himself. He really was challenging the dot era. It's really about, I'm Lil Wayne. I'm the greatest of all time, and I'm the greatest now. And I love hip hop. So I'm doing LL homages. I'm doing Noriega tributes. Nobody knows hip hop like me. I'm quoting all these lyrics from rap records that only super nerds would know. And then I'm making big, luxurious pop crossover Jelly Roll Bono records. And Weezy's making Weezer covers and shit. And I'm just going all over the place trying to deliver this because I'm so great. My ego, I'm using AI samples. I'm using real samples that Manny Fresh cooked up. I got fake vocals saying my name, all types of shit. Bells and whistles and elephant noises and all this type of shit. And this shit is a hot plate of garbage, as everyone's telling you on the internet. I'm not coming with no breaking news. No, it's not a garbage. It's a colossal failure because I feel like
Colossal or something.
he was really going for. It's going to do well first week too, but it's a colossal failure to me because he really showed himself that he was really trying to be the guy now, the number one guy now. It reminds me so much of Eminem, of a guy that's still great lyrically, but musical direction may go a certain way. To me, this album is thirsty of him going for this sort of big renaissance of his career, this big pop crossover moment that he's the man. It aligns with the Super Bowl thing of how he felt in his mind. I can see him thinking, I'm gonna play the Super Bowl, I'm gonna bring out Jelly Roll and Bono, and and I got the hip hop shit. I don't know. I just think that it speaks again that we're in the Dot era. Dot is the top guy right now. I feel Lil Wayne really tried to challenge that. Well, Lil Wayne is a fellow all-time great. Nothing he's doing could ever take away from his legacy of that. But looking at the scale, Carter 6 is extremely disappointing. As everyone said on the internet. I don't know who said it otherwise.
Well, DJ Hed said that it wasn't as bad as people were making it up.
So did B-Dot.
So you got my tweet, huh?
B-Dot's out there too.
I was gonna let you run off your own
B-Dot
words,
and
but
DJ Hed are big fans of Lil Wayne, and they've been adamant about how they don't like the discourse that's been going on.
yeah, your exact tweet was
Leave that man alone.
hold up. You did tweet a lot this week. Okay. Album not as bad as the reviews make it out. Def more to be desired, but I'll go back to about 5 songs.
Okay.
5 out of 19, that is.
I think I got 5 too. What are your 5?
That's why I was looking at the track list. I don't remember the names of the songs. But
I don't love the 5 that I would keep going back to.
5 out of 19 is pretty bad though, isn't it?
That's stupid. That's a stupid statement, and I've seen people making that statement towards.
How is that a stupid statement?
That's a stupid ass statement.
Okay, walk me through it.
Read my tweet again.
Okay. Album not as bad as the reviews make it out. Def more to be desired, but I'll go back to about 5 songs.
Where did I make the comparison about 19? Or
you said I'll go back to 5 songs. I'm telling you there's 19 songs.
Okay.
5 out of 19 is not a good percentage.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say shit about the percentage.
No, but you said the album's not as bad as the reviews. The reviews are saying it's bad, but if the album only has 5 out of 19 good songs, that's not good.
No.
So that means it lives up to the reviews.
I said album not as bad. Read the tweet again.
This is my last time. This is my last time reading it. Album not as bad as the reviews make it out. Okay.
Boom. Not as bad as reviews make it out.
Okay.
Meaning the whole album is not trash.
But nobody said there was no good moments.
I saw a lot of reviews saying throw the whole album away.
Okay.
It's a bad album. And I'm saying definitely more to be desired on the album. For sure.
Are you disappointed by the album?
Yes. But I'll go back to 5 songs.
But you won't call it a bad album.
That's not necessarily true. If there's good songs on it, it's not a bad album.
It could be a bad album with good songs.
What are you disappointed by?
The amount of bad songs.
Why do you? So what's your take on? What's your take on why he delivered bad songs? He's one of all-time greats.
I think because same thing a lot of artists do. They go in the room by themselves.
You know, he gives himself like 5 production credits on this album too. His name.
I think when
Lil Wayne first, Lil Wayne on production.
I think what happens is when you get to a certain point in creativity, and you like I'm this and I'm that, and you become egotistical with your craft. You go in the room and you just make whatever you want to make, and sometimes it's not received well. So I don't think there was a lot of collaboration on this project. I think Wayne and maybe certain people that are with Wayne are doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, this feels like the most control he's taken on with the album. Where
I'm talking about career wise, like even what he's doing with him, with everything. Like he's on social media more. Like, you know, I think Wayne is in control, and then you're seeing the remnants of that. I would love to. I'm a fan of the Mac Main era of Lil Wayne.
Me too.
Because Mac Main is one of them people who understands Wayne. He understands his brand, and he knows how to corral Wayne in a certain way that is necessary to Wayne's success, in my humble opinion. But I'm gonna go back to about 5 songs. I might play like 2 of them. I might play like 2 of the records, like on the radio and then at events and whatnot. But definitely more to be desired. But I'm not gonna say the review. The reviews were killing all the songs. I don't agree with that. So that's why I said that.
Well, my review is it's a really bad album, but I still think there's 5 or 6 songs that I liked. But that's still a bad album. Like on GNX, how many songs did you like? Or first of all, do you think GNX is a good album?
Yes.
Okay, and how many?
But it's also cohesion too.
Okay, but
a lot of this shit kind of random.
It's very random. Very random.
Like,
very.
I ain't gonna lie. Like,
let's talk specifics. What songs do we love, hate, things of that nature?
Like the Bono shit was kind of random
and not good.
Yeah, like I think when you do stuff like that, the records should. The features or the out of the box type stuff needs to enhance what you do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of artists go awry when they go to another person's world. The key is bring that person to your world. And so like,
or at least meet halfway.
Nah, I would say bring them all the way into your world.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Like, you know.
Can we play the intro, Alex? I was actually kind of excited.
I don't like the AI vocals. This shit is all fake. No one's saying Mr. Carter, whatever he says.
Wait, that's all AI vocals
to
on
me,
that?
it is, yes. It's not a real sample.
You don't-
The Manny Fresh record is a Dionne Warwick sample. That's a real sample of a thing.
That had to be
The
been a
first
singer,
two tracks, the first two tracks are AI generated to me, or sound like it AI generated. There's no sample clearances for that.
I liked King Kong. Like, this made me actually kind of excited. I'm like, wait. And I actually was 5 songs in, and I was like, this isn't as bad as people think. Like, I was literally at Sharks, and I was like, wait a second. I don't know what people are seeing.
I think my favorite record is the hip hop record with Big Ass the Plug.
Yeah, that's the best one.
That shit hard.
Flex Up and all that, right?
Flex Up is up there for me too. Hip hop, he didn't need a second verse. Like, and he didn't need to be ad-libbing over top of Big X. Like, it was a great record that to me, it was like Lil Wayne was holding on to the fact that he knows how good of a rapper he is, and all he wanted to do was rap. Like, you hear him extend verses. He has 3 verses on a lot of songs, which I'm not against, but it's got to add something. If you're going to give me a third verse, give me a new cadence, give me a new flow, give me something that ties the first 2 verses together. I don't need to hear 3 of the exact same verses. And I think what Wayne was doing was showcasing his rapping ability is still at the highest level, which we saw in his feature run. No one's doubt. I don't think any of us think Wayne is not a great rapper or one of the greatest ever, and that he couldn't showcase how good of a rapper he is here. The problem is, that's all he did. And so I think if this was a mixtape, I think Wayne, if he dropped a mixtape, a dedication or no ceilings or whatever it may be, and all he did was rap over other people's beats, take over like he usually does.
Yeah, but the problem with
that'd
that
be amazing.
That would be amazing. But the problem now, I mean, the Baby tried to do that. You can't get the clearance, so if it's not on the DSPs, it kind of lives in a vacuum.
Yeah, it's hard.
So he'd have to clear all those beats, which wouldn't be easy. But if anybody could do it, it could be him. Yeah, to me, he's going for the big blockbuster album. He's going for the big win.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, I think Kendrick lit a fire under him just on some competitive shit, whatever that Super Bowl, whatever his view of it. And I think that's why he's third versing you, and that's why he's barring you up, and that's why he's fine. I think it's not even about the guest feature, I think it's about him saying he want to be number 1 right now in this era of hip-hop.
Yeah.
And he's going for it. He's swinging for the fences. He just falls short.
All roads lead back to Dot in this era, and you know, no pun intended. But I am so glad. I'm so glad that this came out after the Super Bowl. Could you imagine if we heard all that talk?
That'd have been even more evil.
We heard all that talk, and how disappointed he is, and how you don't want to wake up the monster, and I've worked so hard for this, and it's my city. And then 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, we heard this. He would have been laughed out the building.
Well, I guess the question I have is then, should legends be afforded more grace, right? If a legend puts out a disappointing project, like you said, you didn't like, you and B-Dot both reacted to the furor around it, right? It seemed like, yes, it just became cool for everybody to kick Wayne's back in as soon as the album dropped. So, and when should we afford our legends a little bit more grace?
Yes. Well, I'm looking at the track list again, right? And yeah, I didn't. Yeah, man. All right.
I'll give you mine, but
no.
Right.
So I remember having this conversation. Who was I talking to? I wanted to say I was talking to. It was one of my record executive homies, right? It could have been Ron Stu or Al Branch, somebody.
Doc Winters.
No, it wasn't Doc.
He said record exec. That's not radio mogul.
I just wanted to throw his name in there. Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking to somebody, and it was just like, we kind of need a legacy platform, because the Carter 6 competing against Lil Tecca is not a fair thing. The Carter 6 competing with Big X the Plug's album or whatever, that's not necessarily a fair thing. There's no real platform for our legends and our legacy acts to thrive and live. We have K-Day here in LA, which is an old school radio. Well, it's back in the day hits or whatever. Back in the day hip hop, right?
It could be 2000 at this point.
Now,
exactly.
Roscoe Dash could be on this.
Exactly. No hands is
Dash.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like little, like, yeah, exactly. So, no, I'm good. So, when you have a platform, I mean, when you have lack of a platform for for the Lil Wayne and people like that to exist, they're forced to like, well, do I do what I do, or do I try to do something different,
or to compete on a big scale?
Or do I try? Yeah. So then, when you have a Lil Wayne competing against a Travis Scott, like, that's not really a fair thing. Typically, like, I mean, not typically. That's not really fair to Wayne, because there will be no Travis Scott without Lil Wayne type shit, right?
Yeah.
So the way I'm looking at it is, I think when you have a Carter 6 and it's utterly disappointing to us, there's a hyper group of Lil Wayne fans who might love this shit, right? Now it's gonna get killed in the mainstream hip hop landscape because it's comparable to everything else. It's being compared to GNX when Dot was a fan of Lil Wayne coming up.
He made a whole mixtape.
That's what I'm saying. Dot arguably when he was K-Dot people say he sounded like he rapped like Lil Wayne.
No, it's
So then when people are comparing the Carter 6 to GNX, man, it's not as good as GNX. It's like that's not.
But so I agree with the point generally, and I do think like we do need a space for legendary work to exist. But in this case, to your point, Wayne is choosing to still compete. I think, like for example. There's other leagues. There's the big three, right? Like once you get out of the NBA, you can compete in the big three. It's not like you're competing with a current player or like the Michael Beasley one-on-one game. Like they're not competing to be in the NBA. They're still competing in another realm. In this case, if Wayne is trying to say he's the best rapper alive still, which he says on the outro, then you are competing and you're stepping into that ring and we have to compare you. Now your fans could still enjoy it. And I do think they need more grace. Like
I think they'll still go to the shows.
Yeah, the show and that proved like at the BET Awards, he performed a Millie, everyone's loving it. He performed a new verse off of this album. Everyone still loved it. Welcome to the Carter. I like that song. But we do need to give more grace of like, I don't think this should tarnish legacies. You're just not in the #1 spot right now.
I don't necessarily know because everything counts. It's no different than when we talked about with Elliott with his legacy, when we talked about with Ye with his legacy. It all counts.
Yeah.
So
clock don't stop.
You have to be mindful of these things when you do have a legacy to protect, which is why we need platforms for these people to exist.
Yeah, you're saying there's no reward if he plays the other way. There's no reward.
There's no benefit.
A solid legacy act.
Like
if he makes that pure mix, like if he does the pure project, like you said, then where's the win for that? What does that look like?
What does that look like? Yeah. For instance, you have people who do purist stuff like Griselda or A Room Full of Mirrors. There's no reward for that in our space.
Yeah.
Because it's either metrics, asses and seats, streams, numbers, hype, clout, beef, whatever it is. Like there's no reward for going ahead and being like, hey, this is the type of artist I'm gonna be. There's no reward for that. So it's like, what are they supposed to do? Kind of. So yes, I do, to answer the question, I do think there's grace that needs to be held for these people, but you also have to be realistic and self-aware enough to be like, that's not realistic. Like for instance, I use Elliott as an example, right?
Love this. Love this episode of the show.
When Elliott said,
yo, the next guy, don't ever use Elliott as an example. You put that on every episode.
Yeah, I'll put that at the top of the sheet. Yeah. No Joe Budden examples, no Elliott
Refer to
examples,
previous episode 75 or the 47 of the 51 episodes where Elliott Wilson is used as a reference. All right. Now go ahead. Yeah, you got me one more time.
This is a final hurrah.
No, I don't know.
When you crash out and make a whack album with your legacy.
Wait, so what was your Elliott Wilson version of this album? What would you
I think that's what you're hating on the band. The band from NO is funny though because I don't think it's his best rapping, but I feel like as I'm hearing it, he loves that shit. Like that's his favorite. That's his favorite song in there, and Nicki jumps on it. So I mean, that was one for me that I liked. I like Flex up a little bit. The song with his son. I like the
Ferrari.
That that
written history.
That fake ass track list that we reacted to last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Was Drake on that track list?
Yeah. Drake, Nicki, and Miley, Warren G. There's a bunch of people that didn't make the album.
Yeah, I only got Band from NO, Flex Up, Being Myself, Written myself. Yeah, Saying Myself, Written by Being Myself, Manny Fresh. Yeah, and
so you had 3?
Like I felt like again, I think we have to fact check, but I believe those first 2 songs, even though they are appealing, are like the soul generated. They don't come from a specific song that's saying those parts. Like you could recreate these things, whether you're using AI technology or not. They sound not authentic to me. When Manny samples later on in the Unwork, it does. And I feel like Wayne doesn't rap as passionately on that one as he does setting the tone of the intros and the second thing. So that was disappointing to me. But yeah, I mean, it's same. I think there is a handful of tracks there that you can enjoy. But it definitely sticks out as an album that under-delivered and is very disappointing. But yeah, the dogpiling of it does get out of hand, and nobody likes to see that because that's still one of our legends. Yes. I do think that you said we see the improvements with the live show. People are still going to go see the shows and pay for the tickets and celebrate Lil Wayne. It's just, and it's going to have a decent first week, right? It's going to do 100K.
Yeah, it was like 110 was the prediction.
I would like to take accountability.
Go. Accountability hour at the bigger picture.
I have a different stance on our legends and our legacy acts. I don't necessarily find it necessary to kick they back in no more. I used to. I used to, for sure. Because it's like, you're still competing. You still making statements like, I'm the best rapper alive. Like, bro, don't you,
Sit down.
Sit down. Get your plate of ribs and go in the back.
I'm the GOAT, right?
That's a shot.
Last example.
That's
there
a
you
shot.
go.
That's
There
a
you
direct
go.
shot. Okay, go back to your
No subs.
go back to your fucking bullshit analogies and stuff.
That's not a shot.
You got a direct shot.
But I'm just saying, like, I used to believe that everyone's equal, and they're not. So the reason how I got to this is I had a clashing with a legend.
Yeah.
I basically on the radio, on the air, and on the phone with this person when he was very upset, told him that, like, this what you did was bad and it was trash. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
didn't back away from it.
no, I stood on it. I let him know, like, this is how I felt about your shit. And, you know, it is what it is, my opinion. Like, you know, it is what it is. But I also realized, going back to what I told y'all two episodes ago, we have to understand where we are. And so there's a lot of following the lead, following the pack, monkey see, monkey do, etc. One, yes, to answer your question, Wayne needs grace. I don't vouch for him, how he treats his people, how good of a guy he is behind the scenes, none of that shit. From a musical standpoint and a hip hop legend, yes, we need to treat him with a little bit of grace, because if we don't value the aging of our people, they won't.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, they won't.
And they'll disengage.
They'll throw it away. If we do that, they do that.
Or they won't invest in making these albums.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't think that Wayne can't make a good album.
Yeah. That's
We don't go away from this being like, oh, Wayne.
But context matters. So when people say Wayne's done or it's over with, it's like that. Now these people have social media. These people look at things. Like, I know people in buildings who I've been on conference calls with them, and they're making decisions based on the climate of what social media is.
The feedback.
saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
feedback is impactful.
We're not going to book this person to do the award show because the social climate is so bad for them.
Yeah.
We don't want them bashing the award show with the negative press. Everybody wants positive press. So I'm taking accountability and saying, like, I'm choosing not to kick our legends' backs in for certain reasons. Just because that's how I feel. Because if we don't value our IP, the estate and the establishments won't value our IP.
It's because of the bigger picture. The way you view it. It's a bigger picture to it.
Yeah. It's not about me.
Yeah.
So
well, and I think that's a very, very fair statement, and there's merit in that, because the more we uplift the ability to age in this game, the more people will continue to be able to age in this game. So we do have to set the climate for that. And to your point, I don't think anyone thinks Wayne couldn't my expectations were at the floor, which because of what the track list we were looking at and where
You're busy.
where the fuck did that track list come from?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But to be fair, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. But to be fair, that track list did have merit.
Well, yes, and I spoke to
Warren G does have a record with him.
I spoke to Warren G on the BET card, but we can insert the clip. But all right, so I'm on a show with DJ Hed and Elliott Wilson called The Bigger Picture, and we were talking about the fake Lil Wayne track list that came out the other day. Hed said there is a Warren G Lil Wayne song that exists. Is that going to be on the upcoming deluxe? Do you know what's happening with that song?
I don't have no idea. No, we do got a record together. Really great, really dope record too. If it's on the deluxe, that'll be dope. But if not, I'll put it on the Circle EP, the Warren G Circle
there we
EP.
Go.
That I'm working on as well. But if he used it on there, hey, that's all. It's all love, and the record is incredible. I'll tell you that.
What was the studio like with Wayne, or just working together?
We didn't even sit in the studio. I laid it out for him. I put the hook on it, did my verse, I did everything, shot a tune. Actually, I didn't do my verse. I sent him the hook and the beat. He heard it. He's like, this shit is dope. He knocked it out, sent it right back to me. I laid my verse, sent it back to him, because it was for me.
Yeah.
So he was like, his guy was like, he wants to use this for the Carter 6. So I said, hell yeah, why not?
Amazing.
So, we'll see. If it happened there, it's gonna happen my way. Either way it goes, it's gonna happen between, with him and me, or with me and him.
It's one way or the other. There you go.
But it's a really good record, and everybody gonna really love it, and really see how Wayne sound over that G-Funk.
I love. Oh, it's a G-Funk instrument. Okay,
Goddamn
okay.
right.
I love that. I love that. I asked him about it, and basically what he said is there's a Wayne and Warren G record that exists where he's rapping over a G-Funk instrumental. Like he went into Warren G's world, and he was like, "It's a hard song. It's a super hard song." So I asked him about if it was going to be on the deluxe. He said he didn't know, but he's happy for it to be out into the world.
And
if it ever
and
gets
it
there.
feels like, to Hed's point, I think last episode, the track list was going to be a last minute decision, right? So it feels like he could have decided literally at the midnight hour to not use the Warren G record. It doesn't fit here. Like, it seemed like those decisions were made right at the end, like what
Yeah.
songs didn't make it. He probably has 20 other songs. He'll probably do a deluxe or something down the road that could have been on the album. Like,
There is 2 versions of the album out now, right now as we speak.
well, no, they're adding songs.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
a bonus.
They're adding
deluxe with
songs.
Nicki.
They added a song with Nicki of the Band from NO remix, and a song with him and Future and Lil Baby.
I haven't heard the Future Lil Baby
Yeah,
song
they
yet.
just added that one. But I can see them adding a whole other 20
Yeah.
songs now. That's, you know.
Well, but I guess my point was that it wasn't that long ago that Wayne was at maybe not his peak conceptually and ability to make an album, but the Carter 5 was a good album to me.
Yeah.
Let It All Work Out is the top 5 Wayne song for me ever. I think it's one of his most vulnerable ever. The Mona Lisa with Kendrick is storytelling. He had actual hooks and melodies on his song with Nicki. He had like vulnerability and song structure with the song with his daughter on there.
Artists,
Like,
the Carter album's legacy.
And the Carter 3 had like a crazy amount of conceptual songs and on topic bars. But like, I didn't walk away with this knowing anything more about Wayne or his life or his mindset. I didn't learn. And I have this critique. I'm pretty consistent. Like, this was not a Drake solely critique. This is any massive artist. If you're not growing with your fan base, it's hard to listen to. Like this, I've talked about it with Future. I've talked about it with Pusha.
Let me in.
I've talked
What's
about,
going on with you? Yeah.
just where are you at? And so I think it was more disappointing to me that like there was none of that on this album, rather than just straight bars. Because I know he can rap at the highest level. That's, impressive. But
So it's still about 2 and 3. Carter 2 and 3.
Carter 2 and 3. I like 5, and I didn't mind 4.
5 feels very Mac Main, to DJ Hed's point, right? I feel like Mac Main executive produced.
Well, Alchemist, when I talked to him on the carpet, he said Mac Main was the one soliciting beats. Al, great to see you. Last time I talked to you about Meet the Grahams, and we're not going to go there because it scared me a little bit. I do have a question, though, because there's a lot of talk about Wayne's new album and the production. I actually would love to see an Alchemist Lil Wayne tape. Have you guys ever been in the studio recently? Is there anything that exists Alchemist Wayne-esque?
Not lately, but Mac Main is a good friend of mine, and we talk regularly. And I probably missed the boat because they told me to send something for this record, and I was just overthinking it. But that's something I would love to do. Wayne is like up in the quasars as far as MC, so you never know.
When you say overthinking, like you had a beat and you just weren't sure if it was the right one?
Yeah, I probably was thinking too hard. Listen, we all do that.
Yeah.
I overthought it, but next time I won't.
For 5, right?
No, for 6.
Oh, okay.
So he said Mac Main and I are close. He asked if I had any beats. I was overthinking it, so I didn't send an instrumental. But like Mac Main still had his hand in this to some degree, at least. What'd you think of the Nicki remix on Band?
Why is she mad at Shannon Sharp? I forgot. I don't know the backstory. Now.
So Shannon Sharp had allegedly taken a slight shot at Nicki over. It was on Twitter, so I don't know what the actual context of like where this started, but there was this tweet, and somebody said, "Shannon, Nicki said a few days ago on Station Head she wanted to be on your podcast. I really want to hear you talk about her. I really want to hear you talk to her about everything going on in the media, and especially after her snub tonight." That was February, so I don't know. That would have been Grammy time, I think. And he quote tweeted and said, "Nicki who?"
Oh, so that was the dig.
So,
that was the dig?
So then Nicki said, on Twitter, she said, denying a young black... Oh, no, that was about the Super Bowl. I'll get to that in a sec. But she basically said, Shannon, I didn't forget about the Nicki who. She said, if I send a pic of Shannon, you ain't that sharp.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, you thought I forgot about that Nicki who shit. You did? LMFAO, JK... emoji. Ocho Cinco almost caught a strizzy just by being around your crazy
Queens.
tall self. Does that say? Tail self. So she was upset about that. Clearly she didn't take that lightly and took a little shot, But then she also took a shot at the NFL. She said, NFL, fire some dudes and then call us. I don't know when this would have been recorded,
Wow.
but she basically was referring to, of course, the Super Bowl, which Wayne had responded to on Twitter, and Nicki responded. She said, denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego, your hatred for Birdman. Drake and Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne? The GOAT? Nola, what's good? Eminem stood firm on having 50 Cent come out, a white man. Shit's sad. I won't read the next sentence, but it's good for them. No loyalty, whelp. Then people will keep sunning you. LMFAO, good. And yeah. So she was clearly upset
voice of
that
Nicki Minaj.
Wayne was not on the Super Bowl stage. And she still, I don't know when this would have been recorded, but it's interesting having seen the Super Bowl and then having heard the album. This discourse to me just seems kind of irrelevant. No thoughts? No,
You didn't like his reading of Nicki Minaj's tweets?
It's not that. It's just it's more to that that there's context and nuance to that I don't know if I'm not sure if Nicki's aware of or not, but that's that's her opinion.
Well, and I think everyone jumping out before any context could have even been added didn't help.
No, there
Like at that time, I'm saying.
Wayne knows why he didn't get that.
Really?
Dwayne Carter?
The GOAT? The greatest of all
There we
time?
go. All right, well,
DJ
Lil
Hed
Wayne
is
has
back.
some things to think about. Lil Wayne has some things
Revisiting August?
think
What
about.
are you going to tell us? The anniversary, January? Next January?
That ain't my story to tell.
But you think he does know exactly what? So when he did all his theatrics, you thought that was out of place because he really knows the actual reason why he got the gig?
Those are crocodile tears.
Wayne is aware.
But do you think the way he presented it to the public reflects that?
No.
Did he choose to do that, to not reflect it properly to the public?
You think Wayne and Drake are cool?
Yeah. Is it telling that there's no Drake-Wayne collaboration here? Even Nicki just jumped on this remix. But why don't we have any Wayne-Drake music together? I know you have a theory. You want to call a conspiracy guy for the beginners?
The Bill has theories. I mean, my theory was, even though Wayne is gonna double back and say he didn't know Not Like Us and had never heard it and didn't know what it was about, I think his ignorance still did play a part of like him playing that song on stage. And then I actually think he took a shot that could have been perceived by Drake as a shot on Saturday mornings. Somebody reminded me that I had said this on the show. I forgot that I even said this. But there was a bar on Corday's song Saturday Mornings, which I actually loved.
Really good record.
And I thought that
Corday.
was one of Wayne's best verses in a long time. But Wayne said, he said, I'm a goat, you a sacrificial lamb, you a teddy bear, you a Teddy Graham.
Oh yeah, I remember people trying to
And I
run with
thought
that.
some people were saying that might be like,
Aubrey Graham.
especially Graham and then the sacrificial lamb at the time. But again, Wayne lives in his own world, so Wayne might not have actually known.
So let's play a scenario out. If Wayne calls you, you're Drake, and Wayne calls you, and he wants to get in the lab, but he wants to work with you. He's coming with positive energy. Is Drake wrong if he wants to dub him for whatever reason? He doesn't want to work with him. Is that wrong? At this stage of your career, because you can say this guy put me on. Is he beholden to it? Is it?
I don't think Drake or Nicki ever dubs Wayne.
Yeah.
Never ever.
Yeah, they have been
present
pretty
it, they don't,
clear.
yeah.
I could see right now why he would want to just take a step back and be like, I'm not coming to your, to your savior right now in this moment. Also because of how high pressure everything that Drake says right now.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
my
gonna
moment
be
too.
It's
if I'm Wayne,
he
yeah.
needs to be careful as to how he moves and what he portrays. But yeah, I think Drake has always gone on stage and been like, if it wasn't for Lil Wayne, you wouldn't have me. So I don't think total career they're not gonna get back together. But yeah, any closing statements on the album? Any? Did you guys love the Elephants and Peanuts song as much as?
Why is the noise so? Why is the elephant so loud? Even if they turned it down a little bit, it's so damn loud.
Alex, can we listen to some of that one?
It's too loud. Why can't they just pitch it down a little bit?
Why we need to listen to it?
I just to remind you in case you forgot how good the song was.
Shout out to Emmanuel Miranda. This is Jeremy's favorite cut off the record. Could the MC really pull this track off, or you think the track is as an MC?
It wasn't
Jeremy?
a strong enough concept. Peanuts and it just wasn't like to make it the whole instrument.
Like you could maybe make that track work without the elephant noise, right? It's already unconventional, right?
Maybe, but the hooks weren't good. And shout out, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I love Hamilton.
Write a better verse.
I'm writing some bars.
Yo, Jeremy rhyming over that beat.
I'm not doing it to that.
Yeah, do that. I want you to do that beat.
I think the beat ruins any verse. Okay, then me and you got to do that beat. We have Elise's son said he'll record our vocals. Me and you are both gonna write to the Peanuts and Elephants beat, and then we'll see whose verse is harder.
I'm not.
Nah, you following through.
I'm not
Cocky Canadian.
lucid enough to write to that beat.
I don't think any rapper is. So I don't think Wayne could have even done anything with that beat. Lin-Manuel Miranda, I would have loved to see the behind the scenes footage of how it was pitched, because apparently he like flew out to get the beat. And
for real?
Yeah, like I just
footage.
imagine Lin, because he's like, a production guy, like a musical theater guy. I imagine him with like a whiteboard or something and being like, Wayne, walk in the room. Now imagine elephant noises. And then he plays the sample of the elephant, and the song's called Peanuts and an Elephant. And you rap, and then the trunk goes. And then you rap, and then the trunk goes. And you're in the circus.
I don't know what's happening right now.
I was reenacting what would have happened. Lin-Manuel, he's a dramatic guy. He's a dramatic guy.
Wayne's gonna do the Peanuts the Elephant play and shit.
Yeah, maybe this is the start
Was
of the
this
new
a slap
musical.
that got left off Hamilton?
It's called The Carter. That's the new musical.
The Carter 6 off-Broadway play.
Yeah, but BET Awards? BET Awards.
Why you look at me when you say BET Awards?
I could have looked either way. It would have been fine. You were at the media room.
My blacker colleague.
Sorry, where do you want me to look?
The darker skinned black
I looked
colleague.
to both of you guys the whole time, and honestly, it's easier for me to turn left than right. I think in terms of like my bone
I'm left
structure.
hand buying that.
No, I'm right-handed.
So then why is it easier for you to go left?
Maybe when I
Are
sleep.
you a Crip?
No.
Hey, easy.
No, I'm not. I'm not. All right, let me try that again. BET Awards. Is this better? How is this better?
I think it's because
Wow.
I'm saying either way it could be looked at as wrong. Who am I
It
supposed
was
to talk
very
about?
telling.
The camera? The BET Awards.
That's even more weird.
Leave Mike.
I'm fucking with.
He started doing his voices.
The BET Awards took place live in Los Angeles the other day. Would anyone at all of any race, creed, color, would anyone have anything that they would like to say
I'm
about
not a
this
color.
award
I'm
show?
a hue. Colored is offensive.
Hue. Any hues? Any hues would like to comment?
Yeah, I think this is one of the better BET Awards that people from what people told me who went and people who watched it live. I didn't watch it live. I like to be able to fast forward. So
Which part did you
I
fast
reserve
forward?
I reserve my right to skip.
It's a long telecast.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
a long telecast.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse Collins and everybody, but I reserve my right to skip anything. So
they opened that budget up. 25 years, they opened that budget up.
I did get a couple of people hitting me up like, wait, Dot showed up?
Yes, that's that's all I care about. They got the Dot era. Dot showed up.
Kendrick, K-Dot, Lamar, OK Llama, K-Dot, whatever he be saying. What, he took 5?
5 awards.
5 BET Awards.
Dot era.
5 BET Awards. He had 5 at the Grammys, and how many stock did he really have in stock? 5 plus.
5.
And he took home.
Why do you think Kendrick Lamar decided to attend this year's BET?
You want to know why I think he decided to show up?
Yes, this is how the show works. It's your opinions and debate.
Okay, no, because people take.
I don't talk to rappers anymore.
People take my opinion as like I'm making a statement.
So this is DJ Hed.
I said, why do you think you're DJ Hed?
People are.
Why do you think? I would say, why do you think Kendrick? Oh, that's good. What do you make of Kendrick deciding to attend the event?
After how long?
Ask that, huh?
After how long?
I don't even know how long. Forever.
I think he said like 2000. Did he say 10 years?
Prime blog era days, I would assume.
I think it was 2016. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's not even as bad. I would go back for that.
Maybe 2014.
Mr. Morale. Did he go for Mr. Morale here?
No.
So it has to be the damn year, 2017. 2017 is damn.
I think it was earlier than that.
So
Does Joe Budden challenge you like this when he's on the podcast to research this
This
quickly?
nigga.
They did. Yeah. Yeah.
We do it live though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do.
But go ahead, you can answer while he's coming up with the exact thing. That doesn't stop your answer. So
I
you're
think
just
that
evading. It's
I
fine.
think that he decided to show up because this is the statement year. So I think, like I said, I don't remember when I said it. Maybe last year. If you're not with this,
The Olympics are still coming.
It's gonna be a long.
The Olympics are still coming.
It's gonna be long for you.
South Park movies and shit are coming.
Hey, stay on stream and go on tours. That's all you can do.
Save your money.
Stay on stream and go on tours. That's all you're gonna be able to do because this ain't going away.
I love that. See, that's my favorite part. My highlight of just the BET Awards is, I mean, it's theatrics with some cool performances. Everything's cool, but Kendrick showing up was the highlight to me.
5 BET Awards, 5 Grammys, 2019.
He was there.
That's not that
2019.
long ago. That's not that long ago.
Yeah, I think it's a statement year. I think Dot is making it known, making his presence felt on everywhere. And
Doing that well.
you know, him and
Saying,
Solana
go see
pulled
me and
up.
SZA on tour. Go see me and SZA on tour.
Yeah, I think he's making a statement that I'm here, I'm present, and you don't have to deal with me.
Are you happy to be back with your brothers for this episode?
I am. I'm
All
very
right,
happy to be
let's
here.
make it short, man.
What did you think of the Kai Wale debacle?
I didn't like it because they always. I mean, I love Wale. Hed, I know you love Wale.
Wale
just
be
think-
tripping.
Okay, okay, you go. I'm seeing him more grace, but go ahead. You go first. Then.
No, he just be tripping. Like I think he don't realize he's Wale.
He don't realize that shit was on camera. He said both things he didn't realize was on camera.
I think he
At
be
least he said that.
He didn't know.
He be
He
understanding.
claimed that he wasn't aware that.
Oh,
it was
okay.
He
on
be
camera.
understanding that. I think he don't know that he's Wale.
Well, how's he supposed to feel confident if Kai Cenat is acting like he's the regular guy, calling him a whale and shit?
You want me to use you as an example again?
Why do you love to do that? See, that's why it has. Jeremy, see why it has to be on the schedule. 'Cause he can't do
I
it.
remember adding it.
Refer
Okay.
to every episode of The
Let
Bigger
me
Picture
use-
where
let
Elliott
me-
used it as an example.
Let me use.
I'm next to you. We should use examples outside of the world. I'm on the same stage with you, my brother. I'm right here with
Okay,
you.
all right. Let
All
me
right,
Let's
use.
step outside our space.
Let
and
me-
drink
Don't
other
use
people.
Elliott Wilson as an example. You write
All
that
right.
right under the bigger picture.
right,
There we
thank
go. Okay.
Thank you. All
Can
right.
Alex, can we make one of those too?
All right. Fine.
Every
Or
time
we
he
have a
said-
little button and meter when it pops up. Wale got insulted. He's not allowed to feel insulted
No, he don't realize that he's Wale.
because this guy's not acknowledging him as Wale.
Fuck that.
He's saying, "Who the fuck
Why
are
do you need
kid?
validation
How's your
from Kai
Nintendo
Cenat?
phone? Hey, this Wale. My fans say he's somebody. Well, like, what? You want him to have confidence? He got fucking played by Kai Cenat
He didn't
accidentally.
get played. If somebody don't know who you are, that's not getting played.
Okay. To prefer to Elliott Wilson. That's how Elliott Wilson would view something.
No, I wasn't. See, you didn't let me get the example.
I
off.
knew what example you were gonna make.
Okay,
but
go
the example he was gonna say was the same one he's used before, where you don't realize how important you are to people, and so when you say things, those people who look at you in a high regard get more insulted than
That's
you
not
think
what I
that they
was
were.
gonna say.
Okay, I thought that's what you were gonna say. All right, I jumped the gun.
I want to know. Talk to me. What was happening?
I said that Wale doesn't realize he's Wale. Yes, like Elliott Wilson, you don't realize that you're Elliott Wilson. Like when you was doing the run up shit at the festival. Like nigga, you Elliott Wilson. You don't realize that. No, you don't have. It doesn't matter about that shit. So when I look at Wale, who gives a fuck if Kai don't know who you are? Like bro, you Wale. Act like you Wale.
So he shouldn't have went up to. So they had the awkward. For people to know, that the awkward exchange. Kai's on live stream the whole time. He runs into Wale. I guess Wale said they have been on a college celebrity thing before they met in passing or played on a celebrity football game thing. So he has at least met him one time, according to Wale. They have an exchange. I'm feeling Wale thinks that he knows he's Wale, who had the exchange with.
Yeah.
And then immediately Kai gets in the car and realizes, like, who is this guy I spoke to? Like, everybody's pulling me up to this guy. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, what he do?
By your theory, then, the second exchange shouldn't have happened.
No.
Wale shouldn't have went back up to Kai
Correct.
and said, you got me looking
agree with that.
crazy out
Correct.
here, blah, blah, blah.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
agree with
Got
that.
you.
That's what I'm saying. The first
But,
interaction.
but can we shoot some grace here where, we know Wale. Wale's a real nigga from a real person, let's say, a real
Yeah.
gentleman, from real background, real
Yeah.
situation. He doesn't have the right to feel offended that in some way I'm gonna press this kid back. Like, I don't like that.
No, that's a kid. You Wale.
Okay. Did you know he was gonna go there, Jeremy?
I was the parallel. The second part of parallel was when the Kai thing. When Kai was talking to you, he's like, "Bro, you supposed to be showing me how to move."
Yeah.
It's like, how can we we can't? I told Charlemagne, and I think I told Ellie before, but I told Charlemagne, I told Van, and I told somebody else. Maybe I don't remember who it was, but I'm like, y'all are the reason that certain people who do things on the internet exist, because you enabled them, because they look at you as the barometer, right? That's why I try to navigate in a certain way, because I know there are people paying attention to the way we move, and that sets the precedent for how they move. Wale is he's a hip hop legend, right? So how old is Kai? 23?
I think 25.
25?
He's 20. He's turning 24. He's 23 though.
He's 23, exactly. So Wale is a rap legend, and he's like pressed about Kai not knowing who the fuck he is.
So you got to remember who you are no matter what. So even if you're thinking, this kid disrespect me, I know who I am. I'm Wale, I'm Elliott Wilson, I'm a legend. So fuck this kid didn't know me for a second.
Exactly.
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck?
I know who the fuck I am.
His mixtape About Nothing came out in 2008. Kai would have been 7 years old.
He was 7 years old, bro. I remember talking to Roddy, and Roddy was saying that he, like, you know, he kind of felt this. I remember he took some heat for the Tupac thing. Like, it was like, oh, you from Compton? And he's like, bro, most people don't understand the dynamic of how LA works. They think, oh, you from Compton, you fuck with Pac because he claimed Compton, and it's like, no, he from the other side of the tracks. That shit, that's number one. Number two, Roddy grew up as Thug is his guy.
Yeah, he said Future and Thug.
Yeah, Thug was who Roddy was looking at, right? So you can't be mad that these people aren't invested like we are. Oh, people always throw Pac and Biggie in there. Who's the greatest of all? Pac. Oh, he didn't mention Pac in the LA list. It's like they didn't grow up listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as much as Grace, you want to shoot Wale, we got to shoot these people too, because it's like they didn't grow up listening to Wale.
Yeah.
He grew up listening.
And he wasn't disrespectful to you.
He wasn't. He just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so now you doubling back. Now you look even crazier to the.
You pressing him on it.
Yeah. So the first interaction, cool. That was fun. Whatever. If I'm Wale, I'm like, bro, I'm Wale.
You just letting the noise happen, ignoring it.
It's gonna happen anyway. Yeah. But doubling back to me, I was just like, and I was gonna tell Wale, I'm supposed to speak to Wale today or tomorrow. I was gonna tell him that, but I just think that, you know, like, you need to know who you are at all times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck everybody else. Like, you are if you the nigga, move you the nigga.
You don't need Kai to validate that. No matter how big Kai is. Kai big, but so you agree with that? You felt it was not right to circle back?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily it's funny. I ran into Wale literally 5 minutes after that happened. So I caught his real react. So me and Wale have never officially met. We had run into each other a couple times, like a dap up, but on the way out of the Joe Budden podcast, he was the guest right after.
Oh,
so
it all ties together.
I was leaving. He was entering the building, and we dapped up. I said, yo, I'm a big fan. Good to meet you. And then he was on the carpet. Outside of the carpet, there's a secondary spot you could take pictures at. He was with Rob49, and they were taking a picture. And then he sees me, and he's like, yo, he had his Nintendo Switch. He sees me and points at me. And he's like, yo, I didn't know you were going to be there that day. That's crazy. Dapped me up. I was like, good to meet you. I'm a big fan of the music, whatever. And, you know, I won't share what our convo was, but it was right after the Kai Cenat thing. So it was I kind of caught that raw moment of him reacting to what just happened. And I had seen it on Twitter. But yeah, so the initial reaction I think was fine, because it's on both sides, it was organic. Wale, who he said he had met, he said, yo, what's up? You know, Kai says, what's up back?
Yeah.
Kai's reaction of I don't know who this is. Okay, you know, he's maybe not supposed to know who that is. Now, I would think as a hip-hop fan, you'd know Wale. For example, I didn't grow up on Rakim, but I know of Rakim. I know how great Rakim
walked in here right now, you would know.
I would know who Rakim is. But there's some people that I might not know.
Grandmaster Caz or Melly Mel, you might not know.
I might not know. And if we're on a carpet, there's times where there are some legendary people, and I'm asking Elise to confirm, is this person this? What should I ask? I want to make sure I show respect, so there's no baby face situations, you know? So I think he could have doubled back. Kai could have doubled back and been like, yo, you know, I apologize. And maybe he was going to, Wale maybe jumped the gun, but I think he could be like, yo, my bad, bro. You're a legend. I should have known, you know.
But to say you got me looking crazy shows that you feel away. Even if he laughed it off, that shit was funny with blah, blah, blah.
But,
yo, man, Wale, man, da, da, da. But almost embrace it. I'm Wale, blah, blah. you know.
I made a few songs you might know, but I do like how he flipped it on Twitter the next day. He made it into Nintendo Switch ad, and I actually did think he should sample that on the intro to his next album by saying, "Wale, what he do?" I just thought that's like a dope producer tag. So I think it would be cool to flip it and continue to just have fun. It's like not everyone's gonna know what you do, not everyone's gonna know the impact that you have. Like even like you guys have done so much, and I'm sure there's some kid who's like, who the fuck?
But I guess it's funny because I'm glad you said that. And I think it does apply to me at times. Like I'm not, you think you're supposed to be recognized, but really you recognize who you are and you carry that forth and you deal with what comes with that. But I almost think and he did in that Wale episode of Joe Budden made a lot of noise because he's talking about all these old stories about how he feels he was in these awkward industry situations and XYZ. So clearly he struggled with that. And what I hate about it is that it wasn't even Kai's intent nor Wale's intent, but to have that moment. Again, we talk about fans' reaction to legends and how visceral shit gets so fast. It was just like, it wasn't even that necessary to make it that level of a big deal. But next thing you know, that's the huge headline thing about Wale got played by Kai. They ran into each other with some weird thing. Like it's crazy how even at the stage of his career where it's like people will try to either praise Wale, which I think he deserves, or dismiss him. But he's a galvanizing figure that things happen with him, and the internet goes crazy, and it's happened his whole career.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is the youth it runs everything, and it's not changing. It's not going to go anywhere. Just like we was young once, and I was 19, and I felt the way about the bigger people. I felt the way. I used to feel a way about Felly Fel. I used to feel a way about all these different people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to feel a way about the leakers. Like I used to feel a way like they not in the streets. Like, I'm outside for real. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a lot of DJs who feel a way about me, especially what I set up here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Whatever. But I get it. It's just perspectives. You just embrace being, you be the elder statesman. You always, it is on, which is why I told what we were talking about the BET thing. It's always on, and I just accepted this, maybe like 5-6 years ago. It's always on the elders to be the elders.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot expect grace, any sort of latitude, any sort of respect from the youth because they haven't learned it yet. They wouldn't accept it, or they haven't been shown the proper way to do it. So it's on you to do it. To this day, I've never disrespected nobody on this platform. Not like that. Like I've made jokes or whatever, but I don't intentionally do things that. So that way, when people go back and look, it'd be like, yeah, this nigga called him all kind of names. He was calling him this, he called him that, he disrespected this person, and all he did was handle him with grace. So now, when this nigga when he finally matures into who he's gonna be, it'd be like, damn, that's the way that I should handle these things. And then hopefully we can run the cycle backwards as opposed to it being always salacious, just over the top bullshit.
I agree. One person who also, shout out to Wale, but, another person who I think deserves more credit for their contributions musically is Ludacris.
One of my top 5s.
And we can play some of the freestyle, but I think he was hungry. Like he was like, let me actually prove.
So wait, I didn't see you. How many did a lot of Rap City type freestyles?
So this was the only, they did a basement vibe with Big Tigger and Kevin Hart, Chocolate Dropper. He rapped over the broccoli instrumental. And then we had Ludacris did like a full 32 bar. Yeah, we can watch some of Ludacris's verse.
Oh, we did
Gorillas is Ludacris the killer. Considered the best in the world when it come to vocal spitters. I'm so familiar. Light skin braids, but got them reaper eyes. Clap you off base, Denzel can't even equalize. I'm demonized. Cause all you rappers is decoys. So bow to the master punk, Luda Bruce Leroy. They want a title shot. I pull up to the rival spot, light your block. Leave them all twitching longer than Casa Knot. Tigger told me I'm hot as the 5 boroughs. Keep the 9 on me like Drew Brees and Joe Burrow. Thorough like T-Biscuit, animalistic out of my district. Magical mystics on the mic will leave you another statistic. Why? Cause I'm the chosen one. Way before Queen Elsa, I was the frozen one. You can ask Steve Austin, I've been the coldest one. Ask Khaled, I got the keys like I sold him one. Wait, hold this one, look at all my accomplishments. People gaze in astonishment cause I held the industry up. Never released the hostages. But soon these verses are bound to cause an apocalypse. Cause I flip modes when I bust rhymes for my conglomerate. People call me an arsonist in Atlanta metropolis. Fire in the booth, weed smoke down my esophagus. Stay in the spur of the moment like Greg Popovich. Anything not Ludacris is preposterous. My woman out here looking like a queen and she get dumb wet. Your woman out here looking like Fiona when the sun set. I'm so sorry I saw your mama sign that NDA. She said Luda be swinging all day like the PGA. Rap City, where's the Now, I might crack a smile, but ain't a damn thing funny. BET, they never should have gave you money.
Luda. So, yeah, we were talking a little bit about it before. I said I thought it was an incredible verse, flow. I like the bars. I like the metaphors. You said, how did you feel about it?
I think it'd have been better.
That's your critique?
Yeah. Look, like Luda's playing on this. He's not even trying. This is Luda not even trying.
But what do you think could have been better on it? Like,
I just didn't like. I mean, I think that he can come up with better metaphors and stuff. Like Luda's notorious with the likes. I don't like the likes.
He does a lot of likes.
He does a lot of likes in that. Luda's better than that.
I feel like that was his style, though. He always was a like guy. Like Fab is a like guy too, right? Like they give I'm this like that. Lil Wayne is a like guy. What's the best like bar ever? That's a good question for people.
I don't know. I just think that, but he did have some shit in there though. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? But Luda, this is him not even trying. Like Luda can rap with the best of the bests in the game, past or present. In my humble opinion.
I mean, he's proved it. He's rapped with Jay and Nas on the same song. He said, "Your girl look like Fiona after sunset." That's a great Shrek reference. That's a great Shrek bar. You didn't like that Shrek bar? Fiona turns into an ogre after sunset. I'm just laying it out. He said, "I spur of the moment like Greg Popovich."
Wish I would have thought of it.
Which was, I mean, that one wasn't the best one there. He said, "I stay with the 9 on me like Drew Brees and Joe Burrow." You didn't like that one.
No, I didn't like that one.
You didn't like.
There's so many like 9s in hip hop. I don't like the 9s. Like I don't like that.
I'm
shit.
okay with all these 9s. You're gonna see Pet Cemetery.
See, that was
a good one.
That's better.
That was a good one.
That's better.
That was a good one. But yeah, I thought he's
you know
proven,
what? Dot don't really do the likes.
He's not a like guy.
No, he's not a like guy.
Interesting.
That is. I don't think does Kendrick have any
like thing though? We at the table of like the like.
Yeah, we'll come back to that for next time. What do you think of the verse?
I liked it. I think when Luda talks his shit.
I think Luda need to talk more shit.
Like stunt on his movie contracts a little more.
No. I think he needs to bar up on niggas. Niggas be forgetting about Luda. Like
I know.
I don't like that shit. I don't like that people play with Luda.
No, he really. I think Ludacris needs.
Luda is
more
one of the
respect.
best rappers to ever do it.
Facts.
Accolades, numbers, metrics, hits, bars, cadences.
Most underappreciated legend in hip hop.
Maybe.
No, the most underappreciated legend to me will be Corrupt.
He's up there.
Corrupt is a good one. I think Lupe Fiasco. Lupe's up there for me.
I think it would be.
Let me repeat. Lupe's up there for me as most underappreciated legend.
I think it would be Corrupt for me as most underappreciated legend, and then it would probably be somebody like, probably I think.
Big L's up there for me.
I probably say Corrupt would probably be my pick for the most underappreciated legend. Yeah. There's a woman too that I'm trying to think.
Missy deserves
Exactly.
a lot more flowers.
Missy got those props when she went on the last tour, but it was
I think
like
Missy Missy's definitely most underappreciated female legend.
Yeah.
She's never in those Kim, Foxy.
Wayne is the only person who puts her in his top 5.
Bro, Missy is like, man, yeah, Missy would definitely. Corrupt and Missy I got. Most underappreciated legends.
I like those. Old school, I'd add Cool G Rap because he's the guy of the whole 80s that wasn't Kane, Slick Rick, those guys.
I might toss Royce the 5'9" in there,
Royce
just
in there?
like lyricism and what he's been a part of. Redman too for influence. Like Eminem always says there would be no Eminem without Redman.
I'm gonna throw Tech 9 in there.
Yeah,
I
like Tech 9.
He's doing something. This Richie Abbott hit me recently.
Yeah.
He's doing a new album again or something.
Yeah, new album.
Tech 9 got
independent
albums
too,
and the most touring artist of all of hip hop
and brought everyone along. Kendrick,
all of us went on tour with Tech 9.
He's still selling hard tickets, right?
Still right now to this day.
Butts and seats.
Yep.
Yeah, who was the most underrated and underappreciated legend in hip hop? That's a good clip.
Congratulations, Jeremy.
We got a clip. I can't be happy when we're in the moment and we get a good clip.
I'm not saying you can't be. I said congrats. I was giving you props.
Did you say it seriously or was it?
Oh my God, bro.
It wasn't with
it's just like dealing with a woman, right? Like
it wasn't with a little
I don't want to come to your fucking birthday dinner, but I'm here. Take the you know what I'm saying?
And who's paying for this shit?
Take the W. But I want you to want to be here. Nigga, I'm here. Take the fucking W.
Are you on time?
Yeah. But take the W. You know what I'm saying?
Are you paying
Fucking
for
Alex.
it? You put one of the 20 credit cards in it? You paying for it outright, or you
Hell
just put it
no.
back? Okay.
I don't want to be here in the first one. Why I gotta pay for it? I won't even eat.
If
I'm one of them
You want
niggas.
the appetizer?
I don't eat the bread. I don't drink the water.
not even at Cheesecake Factory. They have like the best
So they
bread.
can't
and
say
it's
your
free.
head
You're
was
not gonna eat
fucking up that basket. You
Yeah.
didn't put no money in.
I don't want to
Ain't see nothing.
participate because niggas always like to, how we let's just split it all down. Let's 15 of split it by 15.
They
Fuck
had
no.
10 drinks
Nigga, I
each.
didn't eat nothing. I don't even drink alcohol.
Yeah,
you
that's-
niggas ordered bottle service at Cheesecake
it,
Factory.
yeah.
You got me fucked up.
Yeah, I
Said
hate.
bottle service at
No,
Cheesecake Factory.
I hate when they split the bill and you didn't drink or eat very much, and they're like, yeah, and everyone else is in all like, yeah, we'll do it equally, and you're sitting there like, if you dissent and you look like the
Oh, no,
asshole,
see,
like
I don't have no problem doing that.
you'll just be like, nah, I'm not.
I'll
Don't
say
count me in.
No.
And then everyone else.
Take my shit off. Send my shit back. I got hair in it.
You ever go and do it privately? You hit the person privately, like the waiter, and you be like,
I'm
I'm
I
gonna
don't
take
have
mine. I'll
shame,
pay for
Jeremy Hed.
this.
I don't have shame.
You do it publicly. You stand up
in front of
and it-
15 people.
and it
Hey,
take-
bro,
and
I'm
it-
not paying for y'all niggas liquor. Y'all want to poison y'all bodies with this shit? That I don't drink liquor. So,
That's who you want to invite to the party. This guy.
Yeah, this guy.
but you know what the difference is? I'm perfectly like, unlike you. Oh no
Yeah,
more.
no more shot.
I'm
See
sorry.
the top
I
of the
need a bell.
script. Don't use Elliott Wilson as an example.
I don't want to be invited. I don't want to be invited to nowhere. Like when you marry your girl and all that,
Yeah.
I'm cool with just getting a link for Amazon. For the,
You don't want to be invited to the wedding?
I'll be invited, but don't tell me like.
Are you gonna show up?
Don't want me to want to be there.
I mean, you
He
showing
knows
up
you're not
is
gonna
good
want-
enough. I know
want
you're
to
not.
be
I know
there.
you'll actually hate being there.
There
You might
go.
crack a smile.
Now,
with them
can I
when
wear
you-
what I want to wear?
You can wear what you want to wear. No
Can it-
dress code.
Is gonna be food gonna be good?
She's probably gonna send Pinterest items as to what the vibe of the decor
I don't give a
is,
fuck.
but you don't have to follow it. You can do whatever.
Yeah, I don't
you
give a
like,
fuck
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Fuck Pinterest
Have
and
you
your
guys ever
your
heard,
Pinterest link.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Take the W.
That's a
I
W.
brought you niggas a basket with charcuterie.
You bring a charcuterie.
Yeah, because I get discounts on it.
Okay, that's
Shout out
fine.
to Yummy Creations.
Okay, shout out to Yummy Creations. I'd like some discounts as well if they
You know what
offer
I'm
them.
saying?
What
I
were
don't
you
want to
saying?
do
Elliot?
shit.
Spotlight.
Okay, all right. Okay, wait. So let's self spotlight first. You got a new Elliott Wilson experience
Yes,
out
Leon
now.
Thomas. Again, that's the
My guy.
album of the year. Keep playing that shit. There's too many great records. Kaylani's on it. It's Big Sean's all
Yeah.
over it. Everybody's favorites on there, tearing that shit up. The Mutt Deluxe. Had a great conversation with him. You know, Elliott Wilson experience is just one-on-one conversation. It's about a half hour. It ain't no long ass podcast like this shit. It's just a straight convo, and it just gives me a chance to show I can still talk to people.
And make headlines. That Big Sean clip made headlines. The Drake clip made
Oh,
headlines.
thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah. So that's all I got. Got to shoot some more. Get to work.
Artists, if you're out there.
Oh yeah, that's beg solicitor.
No, I'm
Tell
gonna
the
say
audience why you still speak to
you
me.
should sit down with Elliott Wilson because it's important to have real conversations. It's important to get your story out. It's important to give context to the music so we don't sit up here and make shit up about the music for you.
Appreciate that, Jeremy.
And Pusha T did post on his story.
I think the Clips album is coming. My Clips interview will happen soon. Also, he's promised that some sort of sit down with
Yeah,
this
he
platform.
did. He said, "I
Both
can't wait
things-
to
I want
sit."
both things to happen.
We could do both. He
All
said,
I know is yes. I'm not turning nobody. So
He said, "Can't wait to sit down with the guys."
we have like a Pusha and Malice right here next to us like this. That's how it's gonna go
The
down.
duality?
Let's see Joe, and he'll do Joe Budden podcast too. We'll watch them do that. But
Yeah, that's fine. We'll both do it. I got Absol on Soundcheck. My favorite
I just
episode
watched
yet.
that episode. Yeah,
Thank you.
I like the ending. I won't give away the ending, but it was.
It was a fun ending.
So have you never not got the last question right?
No, I've gotten it wrong.
Which
I think
one?
I'm 10-3.
Really?
DDG I got wrong.
I've only seen the ones when you won.
I appreciate you like to,
I don't like to watch you
the
lose,
one. Yeah,
man.
you don't like to see L's. But yeah, I've gotten a couple wrong at the end. I have to guess the song they write down at the beginning. Elise tries to trick me. But Absol was super. He was just super dope and gracious with the experience. Some people lean in, some people are kind of like half there, but he was definitely all the way in, like listening to every song intently, giving an answer. He talked about Kendrick playing the fool. He said Kendrick plays the fool, but he always knows what's going on, and
It's astounding how much he knows.
which is very interesting. So yeah, that's out now, and then go watch
Sound
yeah,
check. Great
Soundcheck.
series.
Hed, you had
Hed was outside.
you
What
were
was
outside,
it?
you did a lot, but for BET weekend, but you had the Ty Dolla $ign event with Pandora, I believe.
Yeah,
Right?
that'll be out soon. Shout out to my dude Ty. Had a great conversation with him. My spotlight is I'm gonna be posting something and link in my bio. If you see everything going on in Los Angeles, California with the ICE raids, I know it's going on all over the country. There is a hot map that where you can look at where the people are going and where they're gonna be and whatnot. I have a link in my bio with resources and donation links and all the things via FYI. We have a project up there, so make sure you tap in if you would like to get involved in those efforts.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
will
get
say
involved.
I will say that it is very interesting to me to see what's been transpiring and taking place, not just in LA, but all over the country. So yeah, I won't get into that, but make sure you support people who probably can't support themselves.
Yeah, and our honestly, my deepest prayers go to families being affected right now,
Yes.
kids who are being affected,
Ugly out here.
people who are just walking around without knowing what their tomorrow looks like. It's a really, really tough time, and I do at least like in these moments to see the city unify and see people come together. And there's been a lot of peaceful protests going on. So
Yeah. Also, the media is full of shit.
Yeah.
Not the media. That's lie. Certain platforms are full of shit. It's not an uproar. It's not an insurrection.
Yeah.
It's not none of that. Like, it is some bad actors, but it's very few bad actors. Most of it is peaceful protests going on. ICE is getting ran out of certain places. I did see shout out to the Latino homies in Compton. They pretty much was like, no, we ain't doing that here. Like, that ain't going down. So shout out to my brown brothers and
Not
sisters out
today.
there in Compton. There are other hoods that are also deciding to protect their own and stand up and against this thing. And it's more like, to me, to me it's more ethnic cleansing than it is like anything else. And also, I won't get into it, but needless to say, just support those who probably can't support themselves, because it could happen to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Because
100%.
it's very specific who they're targeting versus all of the other people who anyways.
No,
But yeah,
thank you have always taken the
Yep.
forefront when these type of issues come up and that affect the
It's
community, this side
interesting.
of the world.
Also, Boys and Girls Clubs. As you know, I'm the chairman of the board for the Media Advisory Council for the Boys and Girls Club of Metro LA. Boys and Girls Clubs are being, I don't want to call them sanctuaries, but you can run with the word if you want to. So there will be no interference or calling of anyone if you are a child or a teen that attends the Boys and Girls Club. For all Metro LA clubs, I believe it's 4 clubs that fall under the jurisdiction. Shout out to my team, Patrick Mahoney and Kimberly Washington and everybody over there. So if you're not going to school, and because we all know during COVID and during the fires, most people who rely on government assistance, you get free lunch at school. I was a free lunch recipient. We had lunch tickets. Now they got the cards, whatever. Boys and Girls Club, they have those services as well. So if you don't go to school, you can go to Boys and Girls Club without fear. So
amazing.
there's that.
Musical spotlight, Jeremy.
I got a song that I found on TikTok, no affiliation,
Okay.
but I have actually never really met or talked. The only time I talked to him was I DM'd him and I said, yo, you're fire. But I found this song, and I don't usually like these songs on TikTok because I don't usually stay to listen to them, where they'll be like, if you like this person and this person, you got to listen to the song.
The algorithm?
Yeah, but this one it was just the song started, and I was like, wait, this is actually fire. And I ran it back 3 or 4 times. The song is called Bed and Money, Ramir and Alec King, the artist's name Ramir. Imagine it's like if Bieber had this song, I think it's already a hit. Like, very big, catchy hook. There's a dope rap verse on it, but like the way that he uses melody is really unique. So shout out to him. He seems really like young. I don't know if he was like even 18, but he's got a lot of talent, and it has like, I think 50K streams on Spotify right now. So go run that up.
Oh. I want to spotlight Larry June. I didn't realize him and Cardo are cooking up, I guess, a project, right?
Yeah.
Because a record came out a little while back called Black Man. The new one that just drops called On the Under. And yeah, man, Larry June's showing out, man. He already gave us an album of the year contender with
Alchemist and
Alchemist and
2
2 Chainz. And It's gonna be interesting. I guess it's a full. Is it a full project with Cardo? You have any knowledge of this, DJ Hed? Larry June, Cardo. Are they working on some things?
They're working.
There's 2 songs here with some nice artwork. I see they shot.
They're
so-
working.
All right, so I'm excited to see that combination.
Had a great conversation with Alchemist too.
Well, yeah,
Big
he's
Al.
got some projects he owes
I had
us.
a great off the record conversation with Alchemist. So hopefully we'll be able to share some things.
Yeah,
Soon.
I would be a great
Stay
guest
tuned.
if we do some guests.
Yeah, he actually would be
I would be a
perfect.
great guest up here.
We'll make an exclusive
He
list.
appreciated me trying to put a battery in his back.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. Do you tell him to talk some shit?
I did tell him to talk his shit.
Okay, there we go.
He's too humble. I don't
You
like
tired of that?
I'm tired of that.
Him and Big Sean.
I'm tired of that shit. Him and Sean. Talk shit, bro.
Shit. You had the best verse on a Lil Wayne album in
Oh, you said
2025.
that was a powerful statement you made. Say it again, Jeremy.
Big Sean had the best verse on a Lil Wayne album in 2025. Talk shit about it. You can.
So Big Sean's verse on the Lil Wayne album is the best verse on that whole album completely. It's all Big Sean.
I want niggas to talk shit.
Take over.
You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, chat. Thank you for watching. And we won't use Elliott as an example no more. And we're gonna try to stop Jeremy Hed from saying goofy shit or defecting to other pods.
Try our best.
You know what I'm saying? Now do the bigger picture thing.
The bigger Big Sean. Yeah,
That was fun.
defecting to other pods.
That was a fun episode.
Ah, shit.